What a snooze fest. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your match review for Chelsea versus Aston Villa in the fourth round of the FA Cup. I am your host, Marshalldbdx, accompanied with my panel of Oliver, Real Chris, and more people soon to come, I'm sure. Ladies and gents, we're going to talk about this game. We're going to talk about the deficiencies, the issues, the good, the bad, the ugly, all that fun stuff. Shout out to Comcast View. But before we do, as always, ladies and gents, be sure to smash up the like button. It does help the algorithm with discoverability for the channel. We are well on our way to 2.5K subscribers. So, hey, if you're part of the 60% that watch the stream and don't actually subscribe, or if you watch it after the fact in video format and don't subscribe, hey, by all means, help yourself by smashing that subscribe button, because it does help the channel, obviously, with growth, and it helps you. You turn on YouTube and boom, it's right there when you're subscribed, rather than having to search it, rather than to depend on an algorithm. Listen, we're in a world full of AI. Try to keep things as human as possible, all right? So keep it human by smashing that subscribe. So hit that subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever we do go live. Check out the links in the description below for Discord, for Sarcasm City, Ahmed, the Bridge 258, Twitter, all that fun stuff down below. My personal content and my link tree to other content as well is down there, so you can check that out. Leave a comment down below as well to let us know your thoughts on everything we're going to be discussing today. And last but not least, if you haven't done so already, do check out our memberships. 4 different tiers starting at 99p. You get some awesome emojis to use to start off at the very low tier, and then you get more perks as you go up the ranks. But big up to all our members. Big up to everyone that is signed up to the membership. That is a casual. You guys help this show keep moving forward. But okay, I mean, summary of the game, as we usually start off these match reviews, is we're dead. We were dead. We're dead team. That was a boring match. Listen, the first half, bit of a shaky start. We were conceding a lot of set pieces in the beginning. Aston Villa had quite a few chances to score, and PETROVIC, being the keeper that he is, and I hope he is the starting keeper going forward until he at least commits some type of error to make himself lose his position, which he hasn't done yet. Keeping us in the game, and slowly but surely, Chelsea start to get some momentum. Chelsea start to find a style of play. They start to create chances, and in very Chelsea fashion, we do not finish our chances, of course. We buy a 4-course meal, but only have 1 course. And here we are, first half, missing opportunities, blatant chances. The Cole Palmer chance that was missed, that was the second half, if I'm not mistaken, right, Oliver?
I can't remember. I can't lie.
Okay, it's okay. But second half, yeah, okay. Second half, we come back out, and no substitutions made. Same story. Once again, don't finish your chances. Aston Villa have a few opportunities to score and get ahead, and they also, because of PETROVIC. Actually, honestly, this game was a game of the keepers. Emiliano Martinez being the bane of Chelsea's existence when it comes to these Aston Villa matches, always keeping us out of the goal. That's what world-class keepers do. In my opinion, Emiliano Martinez is a world-class keeper. And then PETROVIC, of course, keeping Aston Villa out of the scoreboard as well. But yeah, all substitutions that were made, nothing really change much, and here we are now going into the replay at Villa Park, and this was our chance to really have some home field advantage. We have a significantly decent record at home, not so significantly good record away, and especially with Aston Villa, who have a fantastic record at home. Are they still undefeated at home? I don't even know, but regardless, even if they aren't or are, great record at home. I'm not feeling our chances winning at the second leg. I should say second leg, but on the replay. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But Yeah, missed chances, keeper keeping us in the game. Not really much to say on a summary, really, but we can talk about individual players. But before we go on to do that, I guess we'll start off with Chris. Chris, you want to start us off? Give us your thoughts on the game.
It's not really a whole lot you can say about this game because it's majority of it is just dull, and we didn't really do a whole lot. We didn't create any chances. It's like we didn't want to show up for that. Maybe that's down to like not actually having a striker and not like having a full team. No, like we had no full. You know what it is with Chelsea. When we play 4 centre backs at the back, we're not creating much. We don't have any wing backs, well, full backs overlapping and nothing like that. So obviously the attack's gonna suffer that way. But we do normally look better in defence. But we didn't even look that good defence today either, because let's face it, Petrovic was our man at match day, wasn't he? So that says a lot about Chelsea today. I thought we may as well have lost today, if anything, because we're not going to win, like you said, in the second leg. We're just not going to win that game now. So we just made it hard on ourselves now to go for a second leg and, waste time over there and lose probably. But yeah, like we didn't create anything. The only good chances we had was from their mistakes. It felt like the Middlesbrough game in a way, because, when Cole Palmer had 2 chances from their mistakes, right? If I'm mistaken.
Yes.
It was 2 chances, and he just messed it up twice. It's one of them games again where he messed it up. Cole Palmer is probably one of the worst players today, outfield today as well. Like Cole Palmer and Sterling.
Really?
Yeah, like him and Sterling, and a lot of them were bad anyway. Let's face it. Like Gallagher was awful. Obviously, like Gallagher his touches were poor, his passing was poor. He was doing nothing. Maybe his press was about the only good thing about Gallagher, but that's just Gallagher, isn't it? So, but yeah, not Jackson. Cole Palmer, he was just not at it today, was he? And that's the difference when Cole Palmer's not on it, Chelsea's not on it. We rely heavily on Cole Palmer to be on it, and yeah, so that shows it right there. And obviously Sterling, his decision making was just awful today. He can do anything. Every pass went off wrong. Like he didn't know what to do when he's on the ball. He take on a player and then he messes it up. So yeah, like it is not a poor game, but what can you say? We didn't lose.
I mean, we'll let Ahmed cook on the whole Sterling point, but before we do that, Oliver, I mean, do you agree with what Chris is saying about Palmer potentially being up there as one of the worst performers on that pitch today?
I do, yeah. I can't argue anything he said there. I mean, the missed chances were what they were. It's not good enough. Obviously, he has credit in the bank this season. He's earned the right to have 1 or 2 of these games, but looking at the game in isolation, that wasn't good enough. That doesn't mean he's crap. He should still start the next game, but it is what it is. But it's not all his fault. As much as the missed chances were his fault. Him playing as a false 9 when his role clearly requires him to be more involved. His player profile, he needs to be in the attacking midfield or on the right wing. He doesn't get enough touches on the ball as a striker. Because I'm not going to call him a false 9, by the way, because I don't think false 9s exist in a 4-2-3-1 when you have a number 10 or whatever Gallagher is. But or maybe, I don't know. But in a 4-2-3-1, if you're playing up front, you're a striker. I don't think you're a false 9, and he just doesn't get involved enough. And again, that's not his fault. It's not his primary position. But it's a really hard one, because then Brozier comes on.
Before,
it's a hard one because then Brozier comes on and then has an absolute stinker. So, we're really hamstrung at the minute, and this is why we've said on this channel that we're going to miss Nicholas Jackson, and we currently are. So, but on the rest of the game, like, it pretty much was a bunch of mistakes that we should have capitalised on and we didn't. I thought we were decent. It was definitely better than Middlesbrough, in the fact that we actually managed to stay in the game. We didn't concede. But, and Cole Will, obviously that's not great, him getting an injury in the warm-up. But you could have kept Ian Maatsen. He could have played left-back and given you the overlaps that we need. But, this manager doesn't rate Ian Maatsen. I understand Chilwell not starting, but, there was a solution there and we threw it away. So,
we did have a 20-year-old youth player who plays left back. Actually.
Dylan Williams. Yeah, no. What's the point in having him on the bench if we're not even gonna give him a look? But I don't know. It's quite a confusing game, to be honest. I'm not fuming, but we should have taken a lot more from it. And I guess we've, going to Villa Park, we've made it a lot harder for ourselves to progress. I think our best chance now is probably with a penalty shootout, and that requires our leaky defence to have a clean sheet, or at least a clean sheet, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, Ray, it's hard to really criticize Poch on the lineup simply because of the amount of injuries that are in the team. I mean, Ahmed, do you agree? Do you agree with that, or do you have your own say on the lineup? Also, obviously, speak on Sterling, but yeah, go ahead.
Whoa. Listen, first of all, big up to everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day today.
Excuses? What do you mean excuses?
Listen,
like, what else are you supposed to do? But go ahead, Ahmed. You can
listen, man, keep the positivity, man. Keep the energy, Again, I feel like here's what it is, man. It's a minor draw. I don't feel like it makes it any harder going to Villa Park. I mean, we should be all right, personally speaking, in my personal opinion. I feel like for me personally, it's just a frustrating draw, to be honest. If I may say so myself. I think obviously Cole Palmer, he missed some. He should have been a bit more clinical, of course. Of course, Sterling, I felt at times, I thought Sterling was trying to be very positive. That's something I would definitely give to Sterling. I just felt like Cash was just I felt like Cash just understood that you kept them trying to come in inside and just really blocked that off quite well. So you have to give credit to the fullback there in terms of Cash and being able to do what he needed to do against Sterling, because he understood that Sterling was just trying to come inside essentially. Like Sterling wasn't even trying to. For me, if there's one minor criticism I would have said to him, try to feint into the outside and then come into the inside afterwards. Because then at least you give Cash the worry that he may be playing me outside and then coming inside rather than just going straight inside all the time. That was just the one thing, if I had to say so on Sterling, I would say so myself. Obviously, I speak about Palmer and the lack of clinicalness from him. Madueke, I thought Alec had a good game. I just think again, he obviously there were some chances that he missed as well. Just need to be a bit more clinical. I think the key word, of course, with Chelsea is the C word, which is clinical. I feel like the other guys were all right.
I feel like say a different word.
I feel like but that's pretty much it. I mean, I feel like today's game was like we were all playing at 6 or 7s when we really needed like an 8 or 9 from just 1 or 2 players in order for us to really win that game. Essentially, that's what it came down to for me. And you have those games, but at the end of the day, it doesn't also help you, obviously, the fact that obviously Chilwell can't start back-to-back games because of the fact he's just come back from injury, of course. That means you're not going to really have someone to overlap someone like a Sterling on his side. And obviously, because you had to bring Disasi at right centre-back, and Gilchrist to come in for Levi Cole, Gilchrist, I feel like, got told just to stay back. So he wasn't even overlapping Madueke, which also made his job slightly harder too. But at the end of the day, guys, it is what it is. We just missed our chances, bro. That's what it comes down to. And listen, man, inshallah, Jackson, he's coming back mid-Feb, sadly, because we know Senegal just got to go to the final. So it's not easy, bro. It's not easy, man.
Nasty fullback partnership.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I wanted just good. I feel there's a good point from Max B, which is that I feel like once the subs came on, whether it be Mudryk, Broha, and even Chilwell, I don't feel like they added to the game. It just allowed Aston Villa to further dominate towards the end of the game, too, in my personal opinion.
Ahmed, if you look at those graphs, those graphs where it shows who's active in the game at which time, it's literally when the subs started coming on that it just the tide completely turned.
Yeah, I don't think we were poor. I just think I think the thing for us was just we were not clinical enough. And then
we didn't really create any chances either.
Towards the end, towards the end, we started having a few lapses of concentration, which allowed Aston Villa to get some of the chance they needed to do. But that's all really. I don't know how else to say that I don't feel like anyone can really say that.
I thought midfield was good. Enzo and Kai, especially Caicedo. I thought
Caicedo was brilliant.
But Chris, wouldn't you say that if it was another keeper in between the sticks for Villa, we probably would have scored 1 or 2 of those chances that we had?
No, I actually.
Jimmy Martinez had some good saves today.
We had a couple good chances of mistakes they did. We didn't create any good chance, I don't think, as I remember, from us actually passing it through to the box. Maybe the Madueke one, actually think about it. I think Madueke is where we created, and that's the only one. And yeah, it was a decent save by Martinez. But other than that, like and I actually think we was probably the better team today. No, I don't know. Actually.
Yeah, I would agree.
Maybe it's a bit even because Petrovic did make a couple good saves too, so it was kind of even in a way. I'm not saying we played badly, but I don't see us actually going to Villa Park now and winning. I just don't see it, so we may as well hand them the win today instead of just leg.
I mean,
but I could be wrong on that.
On that topic of Villa Park, Ahmed, how is it that you and Assad in chat have so much chest for going into Villa Park when I don't know off the top of my head, maybe someone in chat could tell me. Aston Villa have a really good record at home.
Chelsea also had a good record at Stamford Bridge, so but
you
know, I mean, it is what it is, and also
their record's been going since the beginning of last season. I'm pretty sure.
And also we've beaten them at Aston Villa Park before, so we did that last.
Not with this team.
That was with Steven Gerrard.
No. We did that last season, Villa Park. No, when they had Emery.
No. That was with. I promise you, that was with Gerrard.
That was with Gerrard. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I promise you, that was with Gerrard.
Bro, listen, even still,
Stevie G with a different team.
Listen. Again, I don't. Listen, I just feel like we can beat them at home. I feel like people are being slightly reactive in that sense. Like we'll beat them, bro. Casually, I'm happy to.
Hey, nice. I saw what you did there. No, I mean I don't know. Like someone, I hope someone in chat can provide this for me. But I'm pretty sure Villa have a win streak at home.
No, they have a win streak, but again, listen, they have we're playing them with the win streak currently. So like, what are we saying? These guys are currently second in the league, joint second in the league. Barring Man City, who have a game in hand them, who are also second. But like again, like it's, I feel like again, like I feel like at the end of the day, we have to understand there's going to be highs and there's going to be lows of the squad. Like we need to, we've got a young squad. They're not always going to be as clinical as you want them to be. They're not going to, always be consistent. Again and again and again and again. If that makes sense. So like, why are we surprised?
Counting these home games real quick. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right, I just don't see us going away and actually beating Villa this time because
10.
It's Chelsea. Like I don't know. I just don't feel like they can go to Villa and actually get that result. Unless when do we play them next? Like I just want to know. Like,
we're gonna play them on the 7th of February, which is gonna be not this week.
Okay,
but the week
so
after.
when Cuckoo's gonna be back, right?
So
I guess. And
you having Cuckoo back?
Hey, let's not factor that into our thinking. We're just gonna end up disappointing ourselves. I can't lie, Chris.
I will say in Cuckoo, in Chelsea could help. In Cuckoo striker today.
Well, we tried to do this with Middlesbrough, and he's still not back.
And also, you need to also understand, guys. We may also have possibly. We may also have a striker too. So again, you never know, bro. Like again, I feel like bit too negative today, lads. You've been a bit too negative today. I can't put anything on Poch personally, bar and maybe
it's not
the
really
subs didn't really help him out at the end of the day. But listen, man, end of the day, it's a draw.
I will say the substitutions what Poch made was
we go to Villa Park and we do the business.
I wouldn't even blame Poch for the subs.
Listen, we go into Villa Park, boys, and listen, it's hoops, bro. Villa Park's in the hoops. Don't worry, boys.
Boys, I'm looking at these fixtures, and Aston Villa, since March of last year, have only lost one game at home.
Time to make it 2 games at home.
Damn, Ahmed, what happened to you? You used to be Mr. Negative Abdi, bro, and now all of a sudden you got this chest that I've seen. I haven't seen any chest like this since porno, bro. Like, goddamn.
Jesus Christ, man. But secondly, you know what it is, man. I just, at the end of the day, I am just with the team. My thoughts on the manager already currently, so they're not going to change, right? But
yeah, that's why I'm so shocked, because I know where you stand with Poch. I can't believe this chest is coming out.
All I can do though is just believe that the players can get the job done, and that's pretty much all I'm basing everything I'm doing right now.
I might have a little bit of hope with having Cuckoo and maybe Gusto back for that game, but if
listen,
not,
Chilwell will probably start that game too, by the way.
And I wouldn't mind that because I don't know, like Chilwell, obviously the previous game where he started, he played pretty well. Today he wasn't the greatest, but he's just getting minutes in, so like it's gonna be good to see him actually play more minutes because it's all we got. Joe is all we got at left back, or it's Colwell.
Yeah, I actually meant to ask you guys, what exactly was does anyone know the details as to what the injury to Colwell was in training today or warm up?
We don't have any idea yet. We don't know it yet.
Unless it's been said in the press conference, there's no public knowledge as far as I'm aware.
Stuff has been said in the post-match from what I can see. But have a look.
Okay. I appreciate it. I just was curious if you guys knew because I tuned into the game a little later, so I wasn't sure what was going on.
The only thing we do know is that his knee was heavily strapped apparently.
Oh, Jesus.
Knee injury, yeah.
So you never know, it might be something to do that. But
by the way, Marshall, that was going into the warm-up, so he already had that going into the game. This wasn't as a result of whatever happened.
Probably just didn't feel right, and yeah, like you just can't play him. He maybe just didn't feel right.
So why was he in the lineup? Like, this is just...
Well, like maybe
that's where you can criticize Poch.
Well, maybe like they thought, okay, he's okay, and then he just like did a little bit of warm up, say, hey, boss, like he's not feeling 100% in this. Like,
I mean, if it's heavily strapped up, that's kind of an indication of where you're at physically.
Yeah, and playing that full back, it's not easy.
No, not at all. What I want to ask you, Oliver, was earlier Ahmed mentioned that they felt that the players were around a 6 or a 5 today kind of performance. One, do you agree with that? And two, do you think that if you do agree with that, do you think that has to do with fatigue? I mean, we just played a game on Tuesday. 3 days later, it's a Friday. We're playing again, which I think is absurd. But I mean, your thoughts on that really?
Could maybe be fatigue in some cases, or actually many cases. I mean, Silva, Disasi, started. Silva and Disasi started on the other day. Enzo and Caicedo did.
Sterling.
Madueke didn't, although I actually thought Madueke was good. Gallagher didn't. He was awful, so he has no excuses. Sterling did start the game, and Palmer did, but he was playing out of position. Gilchrist didn't, but what do I expect? It was a lot of it was a bit of both. Like, I hear what Chris is saying about we didn't create any chances, and that's the exact same criticism that we all gave Poch after the Middlesbrough game, and obviously when we reacted to the 4-4-2 video of we're just getting these chances most of the time that are resulting from errors from the other team, and that's not a sustainable way to play football. So there's that part to it, but also when you do get those errors, you have to be ruthless. Like that's what can turn a 2-0 into a 4-0, and then the game's just completely gone to bed. So it's a bit of both, really. I can't apportion blame to one particular party and them only.
Yeah, I guess. You know what, man? You know what, guys, man? There's an elephant in the room that we're not talking about. Can we just speak about it, please?
Sure.
I feel like it's gonna be Sterling, but it's not because you actually praised him.
It's not Sterling. There's an elephant in the room.
I think I know what you're gonna talk about.
You can listen. You can start it off fast because you like this.
The scintillating Albanian. I don't know what other adjective to come up with.
I was not talking about him, but
Oh, okay.
I was talking about the guy that's currently in Ivory Coast. You know what I mean, for his country.
Touchy.
You know what, man? Someone needs to take him out of there. Someone pay if anyone pays £2, we'll make sure that he's timed out for 5 minutes. Because if he keeps on saying that's gonna cost us a goal. I'm telling you.
Listen. Look.
Okay. Let me let
you say what you're gonna say. Yeah. Say what
I'm saying, bro, is we are missing him beyond belief. You know what I mean? People can say what they want, but this guy literally was the glue for our attack. And a lot of people, were making jokes about him. Touchy this, touchy that. Bro, you don't need a striker to say score. I've said this before. Having that secondary, that tertiary ability as a striker helps you out immensely. You're seeing it I'll be honest, Sterling, he's not, in terms of scoring, has not looked that great. I'll be honest with you boys, right? You look at the other guy on the other side, Palmer, he's obviously stepped up to the plate, so I'll give him that's for sure. But Mudryk's looking like a shadow of himself when he's not playing with Jackson, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and then you look at all of these guys. So, like, this is why when I say, you know, the striker is so important. Yeah, people don't realize that. Like, he doesn't need to always just be scoring goals. I know striker main duty is to score goals, but with Jackson, the thing that he gave to our team was the link-up play, and then he was even creating for the wingers such that they could have an open thinking goal. He almost played like a centre forward for us. And that's an uncomfortable conversation that we need to have, boys.
Yeah, it's something like Jackson took the burden off Cole Palmer and just being that main guy in that attack as well. Like, because Cole Palmer's pretty much been doing most of the work in attack since Jackson's gone, basically, because like obviously Sterling's not performing lately. And I just noticed that you just put in my head, like, Mudryk hasn't actually really performed since Jackson's been gone. Like, because I thought their link up together, Jackson and Mudryk's link up, was actually really good.
You look at a bigger. Listen, I know bro has come back from an ACL. There's a lot of things with him that
I don't even rate myself.
You want a lot of things which you obviously want to give him the BOD for, like the benefit of the doubt. But like some of the stuff that I'm seeing from him, right? Some of the stuff I'm seeing from him, broski, man. Come on, man, allow it, man. You know,
he's just never good enough for Chelsea. He was never good enough for us.
It's not even are you good enough for Chelsea? You should just fuck me, mate. You know what I mean? There's no other words to put it up like that.
Hey, yo.
Literally, man, because like it's not great the way he's playing, the style of attack, the point, like the chance that he had in this game, and the touch that he took, that was worse than Harambe, bro. I'll be serious. He makes Mudryk's touches look like they're they're sexy. They make Mudryk look like they have a first touch.
He honestly, like, if listen, I do like Broja a lot. I really want him to work out at Chelsea, but if I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna give a realistic assessment of him, every time I see him on the pitch, he looks completely lost, and that could be on the manager. He looks like an absolute shadow of himself, who used to be just shadow of a striker in general. I mean, it's just he looks like he doesn't remember how to be a striker anymore.
You know what it is, Marshall? Yeah, the way I put it, is that I don't know if it's like if the ACL injury has had kind of damaged his own like psyche, because like you saw that with like Raul Jimenez, where like Jimenez just could not score, bro. Like post that injury that he had to his head.
I mean, that's a whole different animal, to be honest.
No. But
I get what you're saying.
No, but the point is they're both serious injuries. One of them obviously is a serious injury to the head, right? The other is a serious injury to like an ACL, which is like particularly a young age. It's life changing, bro. And like his whole style of play doesn't work anymore. He gets bullied off the ball, literally. That was something that he was very good at, remember? And and that's not something that he needs an ACL, by the way. You don't need an ACL.
No, I get what you're saying.
Even on the ball, he used to have very tidy feet at Southampton.
Yeah,
bro, and that's the thing. I'm not even saying that he needs to have pace. By the way, a striker does not always need to have pace, right? Yeah, it's not even that. He's just like his ability to point of attack, the touch, like those stuff shouldn't. Even if you have an ACL injury, should not be stuff that just goes kaput. Like we need to be honest, boys.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Real quick, Scott, before you go, real quick, I just want to say this on Broja. If it were up to me, and Chelsea were in a better position now in the table, like if we were actually competing, I would say, you know what, let's give Broja time, because we've seen how Van Dijk has, had a resurgence from last season. And last season was his first season back from that ACL. So sometimes with these injuries, I feel like it does take time for these players to really recover and be 100% on the pitch again. But with Broja and the state of where the club is, I just don't have the patience for it right now. We can't wait until he gets better to see if he's going to even work out. Like, it's not like Van Dijk, where Van Dijk was an established defender. He was, I would say he was world class, and maybe he's coming back to that caliber again. But Van Dijk, he had that. We knew what kind of player he was. Broja, he's never really shown that. It was always with Broja. It was always like, okay, we could see the potential. We'll see what happens. But then he got the injury, and now he's back and he's recovering. But Chelsea doesn't have time for a striker to come back and we need a striker that can back goals. We have opportunity. We have chances there. We need someone that can put them away. And, going back, and I would say too, like at this point, if he does get sold in January, I get it. I'm totally okay with it. It's like he's been so poor, absolutely poor. But even going back to what you were saying about Jackson, right? And then, I mean, Scott, I'd like to hear your thoughts on everything as well. But going back to Jackson, let's be serious here. I agree. Jackson is a great player in his team. My criticism of Jackson is that, and I've said this, and I know some of you guys disagree with this, I feel like he's more of a winger than a striker, just simply based on the fact that he doesn't have that killer instinct to finish or shoot when he should. He almost does what Sterling does, not as bad as Sterling, which we will get to Sterling, but he almost does what that thing that Sterling does where he tries to dribble when he shouldn't be dribbling. He loves to dribble. He wants to beat every player that he can. How often is he in front of a goalkeeper and he tries to beat the goalkeeper? Like sometimes it works out, brilliant if it does, but most of the times, bro, you need to just be shooting. You need to be that striker that shoots. Most strikers, you just gotta shoot. Like that partially, you guys know how I feel about the striker situation and shooting, which is partially probably why I want Osimhen. But regardless, he doesn't do that. That's why I call him touchy, because he touches the ball way too often than he should. Now, I'm not also going to sit here and say that, okay, if Jackson was on that pitch, he was going to finish all those chances.
Bro,
I get he connects. I get the link up that he provides, and I get that he makes that attack look fluid. But at the same time, am I going to sit here and say with chest that, yo, if Jackson was on that pitch, we would have had those chances finished, you know?
But again, I don't need him to have those chances finished. The problem we're having right now.
But that was the problem we had today. We didn't finish our chances on it.
But we had chances, right? And yes, the players we had in front of them weren't clinical enough. But at the same time, I do think that there was an issue with the link-up play. We just needed to be a bit more. We needed someone that was going to help us a bit more centrally, because the central play for us was part of the problem, because they played that low block, and then we were trying to create stuff from the outside. But because we do so much, where all the players would come outside to help the link up to get into the box, there was no one there.
Scott, you wanted to?
Yeah, with the Broja thing, there's two things. Number one is I disagree with you a little bit in terms of we can't wait for him. I think we can if this fan base just had more more patience. Because like at the end of the day, the thing with Broja is we know what he is in this team in terms of his position in this team, and how the manager sees him, and that's another issue I have just with Broja in general. Well, not with him per se, but just an issue around his situation in general. I've always said, like with the Broja thing, unless the plan is to sell him, which then it's a different conversation because we will need someone. We don't need someone to come in, because at the end of the day, say Duran comes in to replace him, even if you don't rate Duran, he's literally there to be back up to Jackson once Jackson's back. And both of them are not going to be first choice come next season. It will be Osimhen, most likely. So, like, if you can't wait 6 months, like this season is almost a write-off anyway. Like most of this fan base don't rate this manager and don't think he's going to finish any higher than 6th. Cool. Then this season's basically a fucking write-off anyway, outside the cup, which we've got to beat Liverpool to win. So if you can't like have some patience for like 4 games on Broja, and I get he's not been good, but like just have some patience on him. It's going to be hard, but the whole season hasn't still been hard. The thing with Broja though, it kind of reminds me, not necessarily in terms of a talent, but in terms of like the injury thing with like Cho and Ruben when they came back.
I knew you were about to say Cho. Yeah.
Not as I said, not necessarily from a talent perspective. It's more my thing with Broja is since he's come back, it looks like it's not necessarily the drop off, and this is where it goes back to the manager. It looks like Poch has no faith in him, has no trust in him, and that for me, especially when you're a young player come back from injury, like we saw it with Ruben. Ruben never really recovered until Tuchel got him. And was able to see what he could provide, and was almost able to put an arm around his shoulder.
Yep,
exactly. Lampard never did that. Never did that at all. Did the same with Cho. Never did that. And I feel like Poch isn't doing that either. And this is a guy who has had an injury, a serious injury. And it's like he's giving. At no point this season have I thought he is trusting Broja. He has his faith in Broja. Like when he came back from injury and he had to play that game against he had to play against Fulham, and I wanted him to come on in the game beforehand because Jackson was suspended at 60 minutes, and he brought him on with 5 minutes left. It was like, what's the point? What's the point at that point? You're bringing on with 5 minutes, and so I just don't think he has any faith. And when you have a manager who doesn't have any faith in you, because it's quite clear he doesn't, coupled with the fact you're not in form and you're low in confidence, you're very evidently low in confidence. It's just not a good combination. And there is part of me that feels like Broja's, and I've said this before, Broja's never going to get. I think he could potentially get to as a striker at Chelsea, just because the whole situation and the current dynamics of the club and him, and which is going to suck. But as I said, I'm still for keeping Broja till the end of the season. If you sell him in the summer, you sell him in the summer. It is what it is. But if you're going to sell him, then that's cool. We will need a replacement, but don't be surprised if it is someone like Duran, which I'm calm with. I don't care about who comes in. But if you're expecting us to get rid of him and then get in a Isaac or something, you're off your head. You're smoking. But yeah, I also agree with Ahmed as well in terms of the thing with Jackson would have helped, because Palmer, my word, I don't know what you've talked about because I came in late, but Palmer today was shockingly bad. And I saw Goonie tweet this out, and I agree. This Palmer at striker thing needs to fucking die. We tried it once and it worked in a game where you could play a false nine because the way Arsenal play. We've done this before.
Sure.
I'm not under Poch, under different managers, where something works because it happens to work against that team. And our manager, I think Lampard did this, decides, that'll work again.
Lampard on the back three, wasn't it?
It was like, this will work again, despite the fact that the team we're playing next doesn't play anyway like the team we just faced. It's like, when you're playing centre-backs that want to step out, you can play a false nine, because then they don't know when to step and they're not, it confuses them. When you're playing a back four where they just want to sit, having a false nine doesn't do anything, because they're happy to just let the false nine drop and collect the ball. Cool, you do that. I'm just going to stay here. You need someone who's going to occupy them, who's going to bully them or attempt to, who's going to give them something to think about, because then it gives whoever the 10 is, whether that's Gallagher, whether that's Nkunku when he's back, Palmer, it gives them the space to be able to do what they can do. Obviously, to a varying degree, depending on the player. We had none of that today. Forget the chances we missed. There was nothing in terms of play from our striker. Whether it was Gallagher when he went there for the limited time, Palmer, there was nothing. And then Broja came on, did nothing. It says a lot for me today that our best players, I thought we played well, but it says a lot for me today that our best players were either Disasi, a centre-back, who then played right-back, or Caicedo, our DM.
I mean, going back to what you said about patience for Broja, I will say that, I agree. I would like to be patient with Broja. The problem is that, one, you said it, Osimhen, right? So with that, let's just say we look at the totem pole. If we get Osimhen, it's Jackson's second choice, and at that point, Broja becomes what, third choice? Yeah. Then you take into consideration that, why should I be patient when I have options to try out other strikers that, who knows, may or may not be better than Broja? You have Dijon whispers, who we don't know what could happen. With this team, listen, as much as I want to sit here and say he's definitely going to get sold, he's definitely a for-profit player that we purchase, he could potentially break into the first team. You never know. David Washington, another option. Fofana, when he comes back, another option. That's three strikers that Chelsea had to choose from to potentially. And the player that you just mentioned, that I can't remember his name, that we're linked with, if he were to come in as well, 4. So when there's so many striker options as well, I just don't see why people should be patient for Broja when there's a wallet that you can just purchase a striker, see if he works out.
Oh, no, Marshall. When I said patient, I mean this season. I'm under no illusion that come the summer he'll probably be sold. But I'm saying for this season, in terms of people need to understand, if he's got to last. Let's just say Senegal make the final. Let's just say they make the final. he has to play maximum 4 games between now and when Jackson theoretically would be back for. 4 games.
Yeah.
Of those 4 games, we play Palace, Wolves, Liverpool, and one other. I forget the other one. But it's not a top
I think
team.
Tottenham is in there.
I guess you can make it 5 with this replay as
Yeah,
well.
the replay.
5 with the replay. It is. Oh no, I tell a lie. It's 4 as of now, like including the replay. So Aston Villa again, cool. Liverpool, fair enough, but that is a game that's a game I wouldn't mind seeing Palmer false 9. That might work in that kind of game, or play Gallagher up front for all I care. I'm sorry, Wolves and Crystal Palace.
Then
Like he can play in those games. If we think we can reach 6th, Brozier can play in those games. We should be winning those games anyway. If we can't beat those teams with Brozier as our striker, we don't deserve to be 6th anyway.
Yeah.
With Jackson and Afcon, I mean, Senegal are the favorites and they're expected to like win it. But
like if they make the final,
hold on. If they play Ivory Coast in the round of 16, who I know they had a poor group stage, but there is a possibility that if they can just get things to click, that they could knock out Senegal. So who really knows?
Yeah, but potentially, but even so, Prime, if that happens, then Jackson's back early. Then you don't have to wait 4 games. And it's that's what people need to understand where Brozier is in the pecking order. Unless Brozier gets sold, there's no point pushing him out the door because the replacement's probably just going to be Duran. So like you're swapping one inexperienced guy for another inexperienced guy, or we're going to go and get Wilson, who probably get injured within his first game. So then we'll be back with no striker. So like
get into training, Scott, mate.
Yeah, probably. Wilson, unfortunately, he's so injury prone.
So like cool. So this is what I'm saying. Like I understand people's frustration with Brozier, and yes, he needs to play better. I'm not for a minute saying he's played well. I'm saying you're getting concerned about a guy who's our second choice striker. Get pissed at Poch for not playing Washington more, if anything. Like this guy's been in the team since the start of the season. I get he's not had a lot of minutes in his career. Neither's Gilchrist, and he plays every fucking game for about 5 minutes every goddamn game. He was meh today. I saw people bigging him up on Twitter. He was meh. He's the bro. I said it on in the Discord. He's the most basic. He's your prototypical English centre back. Just basic, nothing fancy. Just short passes here, short passes there. Does some nice tackles. Doesn't cross more than about a third of the doesn't go out of his defending third. Like he's such a basic footballer.
Poch this season, right, has had so much opportunity to use more of these young players and more of the academy players. He's meant to be the ultimate academy developer youth guy, and he hasn't. I mean, he's used Gilchrist for a weird reason, but we've got a left back in the academy he could use, Dillian Williams, when he's been persisting with playing Gusto out there. He could have used him, he hasn't. He could have used, like what Scott said, David Washington a lot more to see, because, you know, if Broha's not good enough, we've got no Jackson, and Palmer and false 9 doesn't work, we might as well give this guy a chance.
Also, every time, I've noticed this, every time he's brought Washington on, he's used him as the 10 or as on the wing. Like,
has he?
He can play on the left, as far as I'm aware.
As a striker?
Every time I've seen Washington come on, it's when Brozier or Jackson is already still on the pitch. And so he's either been the one dropping into midfield to collect the ball as like a 10, so to speak, or he's gone on the wing.
No, I've not noticed that. But I mean, am I really surprised with Poch, to be honest?
But that's what I'm saying. Like he's a guy where like he's a guy where like you could give him more minutes. It's not like we haven't had the opportunity. Like today, like just put him on the pit, like or against like Preston or against Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough when we were 6-0 up or 6-1 up. Like I don't understand. Like if you don't rate Brozier, and it's quite clear you do, why don't you try the other fucking striker in the squads?
Mm-hmm.
I
100% get that.
Also, when you do play Broha, like, why don't we just play to his strengths? I don't see us doing that a lot more.
Cross, inshallah.
We literally put a ball into the channel for him today, though, and he touched it out for a goal kick.
Horrid.
Bro,
No, I don't
man
mean him
has the
running
polarity
I don't mean him
of
running
fucking
channels.
planets.
So here's the thing. I think focus is on. I don't even think the focus even needs to be on Poch today. We should have won that game. Palmer and Madueke didn't finish. That's the difference. And Petrovic made the save at the end. Much as I'd like to dunk on Poch this season, I don't think. The only thing I can say was the subs were a bit too late, maybe, and Tuesday caught up with us. But we really should have had that game in the bag in the first half because we played much better than them for an hour, 65 minutes. We looked like the team that had come back from 12 days rest, and they looked like the team that had played 3 days previously. But it's the same old thing, really. It's the finishing issue of getting the chances and not taking them as much as we all big up Cole Palmer. Today, we have to criticise him. He should have at least scored 1 goal today. And now Madueke should have scored another. He should have been sitting comfortable for going through to the next round. That's the really difference today. We played well up until the most important point. I thought we pressed well. I thought actually I disagree with Ahmed. I thought we linked up pretty well today up there, especially the first hour. I just thought, that was the main difference. You know, it's just the finishing. That's all it was. And that's been an issue for the last 7 years. The use of the squad, I don't know. We just got so many people missing that our bench is just ass. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. I think actually people say, "Oh, now you're going to Villa, they're going to smack you up." I think this team will relish going to Villa because they won't be favourites to get through.
Exactly, yeah.
But I think they'll relish it. We'll get maybe a couple of players back. Augusto, maybe bring on an Nkunku or something like that. Maybe he will start Broyer up there. I think this replay suits us more than Villa. I don't think Villa wanted a replay. They're still in Europe and they're in a title race. Mm-hmm. So, all's not lost. You know what I mean? You just got to finish our chances. That's probably the best we've played against the top opposition for ages, like for at least an hour or so. But like I said, I would love to not love, but it's easy to dunk on Poch when it's obvious. And today, apart from maybe the subs, I don't think there's much to dunk on him.
I agree. I don't think, as I said, outside of the Cole Palmer thing, which, like as I said, needs to die after that result and the subs. Like I'm not dunking on Poch for the result. Like you said, it's not even just the finishing; it's the decision making in the attacking third in general. Like every single player in that attacking third, in terms of that front four, had poor decision making today. Whether it was final ball, final shot. Just everything, like whether it's Gallagher hoofing balls when he's looking down at the floor into no man's land, whether it's Sterling just doing the same move. Ahmed kept losing his head because he's doing the same move next to Cash like every time. Well, yeah, Madueke and Palmer the same.
Because the thing of Sterling was he actually was
Madueke. He was making some awful crosses. I like
what Sterling is doing. He's trying to be positive. I get that. I like that. And the problem there was, Cash knew he wanted to come inside. Pause. Okay.
I can't believe.
Literally, we tried to get into the box. So Cash literally knew he was not going to go out wide and maybe attack him like this essentially. So he kept on. Cash is literally, because Cash is a good centre back for fullbacks, or I should say, and like he can handle a winger, and like that's what he's starting, in my opinion.
I get what you're saying, but he's not been having a good season. We made Cash look like he's looked like this all season. He's been shit all season. He's gotten benched.
Have you been watching him, mate? Again,
he lost his place. He doesn't even start for Villa anymore.
Who starts for him then?
I don't know, but not him.
Let me.
Ahmed, I will admit,
Konsa. I know he's still.
Yeah, he's not wrong. Konsa starts at right back for him.
Yeah.
I think that Sterling had a good game outside of the decision making. Like everything else, apart from that final ball.
Oh, the decision making. You're right.
Yeah. Outside of that final ball, like I thought link up play. I thought the way he was like driving us forward was really nice. It's literally just that final ball. Whether it was
it's just that decision making is always the frustrating part, you know.
I told you, man. We need the number 7.
And for me, it was the same. It was the same with Madueke as well. I thought outside of the decision making, shot choice, the final pass, I thought he was good as well. Like. It's just the final action. It's just
This is what I'm saying. To address the Dell in the chat, no one's treating the Carabao Cup final as a UCL final. It's just a final that we got to. We're not accepting this, and the likes of Drogba and Lampard, Terry, and not accepting this. These people got knocked out to Bradford at home, 2-0 up, and lost 4-2. Do you know what I mean? They lost to
Bradford,
Barnes,
man. That's not even a team. That's a
they
human.
lost to Barnsley 1-0. They got knocked out by Barnsley 1-0 in the FA Cup. So let's get it right. This is what I hate. This fan base talks about standards and stuff like this. Comments like this. It's like, bro, we are disappointed we didn't win today. We're not accepting of a draw. But do you know what? I'd rather have
no one's accepting
and still be in the competition and out of the competition tonight because it's another chance to win a trophy. Do you know what I mean? So,
just because I'm not fuming at the mouth and just screaming at the top of my lungs doesn't mean I'm not upset. I'm not happy that we didn't win this game because I don't want to go to Villa Park. I don't like our chances at Villa Park.
You know, it
that's
also
what I'm
is,
saying,
though,
and it's more. And also, I'll say it's more games as well. Like what Andrew said earlier about he fancies us. For me, it depends when we play. Like if we have to go, I don't know when they're going to schedule it, but just say for argument's sake, right?
It's the 7th party. 7th of February.
The 7th. Oh, cool. So it's between when we face Wolves and Palace. So he'll probably have to rotate either against Wolves or against Palace. Which, like, when we're trying to push, like, we've got a good chance of pushing towards 6th. The last thing we need is fucking congestion, like fixture congestion again. So that's what's annoying about. Like, it's irritating. We have to go and play another game.
I should be able to rotate against Palace anyway, though.
I think they'll rotate as well because.
Oh yeah, but they probably would as well. They probably.
I
would.
I think they didn't want to rotate either. You know what I mean?
Europe is back in 2 weeks, no? I think Europe.
Right, but they're in a top 4 race. Do you know what I mean? Or
on the States. But yeah, I think Europe starts again in mid-Feb, isn't it? So, and that's going to be the week before they even get Conference League.
Oh yeah, they're going to be. Oh wow.
Stop comparing the old players to the new players.
I think also, I want to actually get onto that point that Surfer said. I think we also need to realize, guys, the caliber of players we have currently, it's not the same as these guys. These are guys that are still trying to reach their potential, their full potential.
Oh yeah, of course.
What are we like? Listen, I want us to win. We should have won that game, by the way. But there is like some level of at least understanding that there's got to be humps and bumps across the road, essentially.
Hey, nice.
Exactly.
But the thing is, though, like, you know what it is, though. It's just these bigger platforms that are just touting over and over again. Oh, we need experience and caliber and all this and that.
Experience had nothing to do with today's game whatsoever.
No, because I've even said our most experienced attacker had the same issue as a 20-year-old attacker today. Like
Silver and phases looked incredibly unconvincing today.
Like, bro, he was awful today. Like outside of a couple of blocks, he was awful.
The man alone, he's sad. It's another game, another game closer to the end of his career.
The way Andrew,
listen, he's just sad.
Andrew hasn't started cooking Silver yet. The way he hates him, like the way
I was
like, he was playing like he was half asleep today. Like he literally he woke up.
Man, he shouldn't have played. He played 3 days ago. He shouldn't have played.
That is shocking.
By the way, you know, we need to give this guy have a break, man. You know what I mean?
I hope he gets 2 days. I hope he gets the next 2 days off because we don't play till Wednesday. So I hope Poch gives him 2 days off.
And we have a game on Sunday, you know, after that. So he needs to actually definitely get some rest.
It's one of them. That's what I that's right. Listen, there's a little few things in here and there. Poch,
no. Sure. Bring up between the posts comment. This is not true, by the way. He has been bring up the between the posts. This is not. He's been at best third best centre back this season. At best,
is the best one Disasi?
Has been clear of him, and I'd argue in this limited time we've seen him that Badiashile has been better than him this season.
I don't know because I've seen Badiashile make a lot of mistakes as well for Chelsea.
Yeah, and I've seen Silva make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a few mistakes Silva's done, but I think it's close anyway. Like it's.
Cool.
I've seen Silva had a lot of good games.
Has been clear of him.
Disasi. I'm not going to even argue Disasi because Disasi has been our best centre back. There's no doubt about that. Like it is clear, like you said. But I don't know. So I don't know how Silva does it because, like you said, like he literally
lowering our standards.
What?
There's one term in this fan base that needs to go. It's standards. Okay. That's what I'm saying. We're not lowering our standards. We have no.
Yeah, we lowered our standards for Mason Mount. Why can't we lower our standards for this team?
Andrew, we've seen this team, right? We've seen this team since last season. we was literally where did we finish last season? Where did we finish? Wait,
What?
washed up old defenders. Okay, I don't know where you get that from, but like,
Yes.
Chris,
yeah,
man.
no, but how
It's
can
like
we have
worst players in general.
Yeah, but how can we have high standards from last season?
Right, exactly.
Oliver.
There is no standard with the team right now to have.
Well, hang on. So hang on. All right. This is where we'll do this. So you're asking what's Caicedo playing as the deepest midfielder?
Yeah.
What do you expect him to do more against Villa? What do you expect him to do more? Please, I'd love you to say that. And if you say goals,
He was our best player.
If you say goals or assists
Him
or
and
through ball
Petrovic.
passes, I'm going to ban you from this
No,
channel.
no, he was for me. He was our best player. Like for me, he was our best player.
I thought him or Petrovic, yeah, like Petrovic made
You know-
really good saves.
You know what I'm
But
starting
yeah.
to realize? I think I realize now why Andrew goes to so many streams. He's just looking for the next fight. He's just looking for the next unfortunate chatter he can just ban and just get into it with, man.
I the same thing. I'll say this: you can't. You can keep your own personal standards for Chelsea, no problem, right?
Yeah.
Then I can't. If you don't rate the manager or the players or some of the players,
Sure.
how can you then? The whole standards thing's a wash, right? No, it's a different discussion about whether they're good enough or the standards are. It's just,
Mhm.
yeah. What more should Caicedo do? Yeah, what more should?
Exactly.
What do you want him to do as the DM?
Andrew, I can answer that.
What more do you want him to do that he did
I
today?
can answer that.
No.
Well,
Hang on. No. You didn't answer the question. Hang on.
Andrew's like
give
Goku. He's just
give
looking for
better-
the
give
next
better
strongest
through
opponent.
passes to the front player. Why does he need to do that? Why does he need to do it all the time? He's got Enzo or someone else he can give it to.
But that's
He doesn't need
Enzo
to
and
do it all the
Gallagher's
time.
job.
Andrew, can
It's
I
not
answer the
his
question?
job. In this
Andrew,
team,
I know what more
in
he
this
can
team
do.
right now, it's not his job to do. His job is to break up play and either pass it any 360 direction 5
Yeah, we
yards.
can do it.
That's his job. So that's his job.
Andrew, I know what more he can do.
Well, spit out.
And you said I can't use. What is it? You said I can't use assist. and
Can't
goal.
use assists. He can't use assists or goals.
Okay. Well, he can get goals and assists.
TDP said it right.
He's
better
taking
through
some key
passes.
passes, man. You know what I mean? He's not getting enough key passes for me, man.
Never mind.
Not enough key passes.
Bad job.
Okay, so we play, this is my whole point.
Andrew's not even listening.
So
Okay.
This is my whole point.
Oh my
So if you're
God.
trolling, you succeed.
Andrew's in fight mode, man. You can't bother him when he's fighting.
You succeeded. Kante used to score screamers. Shut up, man. Kante
What?
used to score screamers. What?
I mean,
Kante,
he
Wait a minute.
has,
Here's the
but it's
thing.
not consistently.
I would destroy your argument like this.
He had one
Kante
good goal last
Kante
season.
never played as the deepest midfielder at Chelsea. He never
Oh,
played as
that's
the
true,
deepest. He had a partner beside him like Matic, or they moved him up a bit. And Jorginho played the thing. He never played that. Okay.
Andrew,
He always
Andrew,
bomb inside the box
Andrew,
a lot and win headers
Andrew,
and even stuff
Andrew.
like that.
That's not true. He played
What
as the
the
deepest midfielder under Frank Lampard, and we saw how that worked out.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So
What
this is
team was
okay.
it against?
He scored
He had a good
screamers.
goal last
He
season.
scored-
I
he
think it was
scored-
against Real
He's had
Madrid.
a few good goals. I remember one
Good
against
goal
Liverpool.
against-
He didn't
No,
score
no,
last
like-
season.
Against
He had a couple. Like he scored
Yeah.
a couple. Like
Remember
Yeah,
one
but he
against
wasn't
Liverpool?
doing it consistently.
No,
This guy's making it sound like he was Lampard.
He makes it
no,
sound
yeah.
like he's Michael Essien.
He barely
That's what
scored.
he makes it sound.
He's
He
not.
Yeah.
barely scored. Full stop. He barely scored. Full
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
I remember this header.
Yeah.
Like-
was it Brighton?
Also, this
He was with Matic. He was with Matic, and yeah, he doesn't sit well.
Let's go backstage
DM.
then, yeah? We'll go backstage.
Ah.
Yeah, like I don't really
Then we
understand.
screamed it right
against,
against
like,
when he went through against Liverpool. He went like that and then did it
I
like.
don't really understand
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's
criticism
the
for
one.
like Caicedo. To be honest, I just don't understand it. For me, like he's been our best
That's true.
midfielder this season.
But
Like I know
here's
people
the
say
thing.
that stuff, but Gallagher's
Here's-
fallen off a cliff. Caicedo's been our most consistent midfielder this season.
But here's the thing.
Yeah, actually,
When we had Kante, I was never betting on Kante scoring a goal. His other side of the game was more in the Champions League final. I wasn't betting on Kante scoring a goal. It was his other side where he was
If you can get like
brilliant,
15
and man of the
tackles
match.
also.
That's the side of Kante you praise. You
Oh,
don't want him
come
scoring
on,
screamers.
Andrew. Do you not remember the tweet from the City admin saying, "Oh, if Kante scores in the second half, the game's over"? I remember that tweet.
No, but what I'm saying is that this guy, if Claude Makélélé was around now, he'd be expecting Claude Makélélé to score screamers. This guy. You know what I mean? We're not talking about Makélélé. We're not talking about
Talking about bald Makélélé.
Kante is not a Michael Essien type and never was. Or he's more of a hybrid Makélélé with a bit more athleticism. That was it. But he never played as a lone DM. Matic was more a defensive midfielder than Kante ever was for Chelsea.
Matic never got hate though. I don't get it.
We're not talking about hate. We're just talking about this guy.
No, but I'm just saying Matic didn't get hate as a midfielder. Like, oh, where's Matic's goal?
No one did. Like none of these midfielders.
That's why I don't get. Like, why does
Twitter didn't explode until the pandemic?
It's not, Chris. It's not even that. It's because people see players like De Bruyne and they see what Bruno Fernandes does, where he will ghost games but score a fluky goal or get some booky assist or some shit penalty, and think, oh, that's what a midfielder needs to do. No, because he was fucking dog shit for 90 minutes.
This
Bruno.
It's Rodri, man. Rodri's killed it.
I was going to say, it's even like Rodri.
It's Bruno. It's KDB. It's these man. Like, these man have fucked football. Like, KDB is a great player.
I'm not hating on. I'm not defending Caicedo. I'm defending the point that you made, that you expect more from Caicedo when he's playing the deepest of midfielders that Kante never used to do. Okay, and second of all, Kante hasn't been our best player since 2017 because he's been injured for most of the time.
No, that was Hazard. That was Hazard.
It was Hazard, and do you know what? For stats and everything, Thiago Silva and Mendy were better in seasons. You know what I mean? Kante had a brilliant Champions League run, a phenomenal Champions League run from the quarterfinal onwards. Outstanding performances.
So did Jorginho.
TPP says it best, by the way. Why are we comparing? And this, I was going to kind of touch on this when it comes to talking about standards.
Brilliant.
Why are we comparing Caicedo and Kante when they are in no way, shape, or form? Kante came to us having been a Premier League winner, being one of the most important pieces in a Premier League winning team.
Yeah.
Caicedo came from Brighton. Like, regardless of how good we may think that he can get, and regardless of the price tag, he's not the same player in terms of ability right now. He can
Another brilliant one right here.
Like, he can get there 100%. Comparing him now, and I was about to say this earlier in terms of standards. If you want to, like, you can't compare players on the same standard in terms of if they are wildly different. For example,
it's got to be trolling now, right? It's got to be trolling.
For example, I'm not going to
troll,
I'm not going to keep the same standard for Sterling as I am Madueke and Mudryk, because Sterling is a vastly more experienced player who's played at a vastly higher level and who I expect way more of. My expectations for Madueke and certainly Mudryk are on the floor. They are in hell. My expectations for Sterling are way higher. So to keep the same standard for both of them is dumb, because Mudryk will never hit that standard, ever.
Let me do this right now.
Having that standard.
17-18, 18-19, Hazard was far better than Kante.
Hazard was our best player this season. Was our best player by a mile.
Yeah, it's not even close. Without Hazard, we don't scrape.
That's Hazard's best. That's Hazard's best. I'm pretty sure I could be wrong. That's Hazard's best season ever for numbers as well.
Season, yeah.
Wait, just because they're DMs doesn't mean they're similar players.
The Kante agenda is you, because no one even brought up Kante. I didn't bring up Kante. Yeah. You brought him up because you slated Caicedo wanting to do more. Why am I rattled? Because I'm tired of this. You've won, so congratulations. Great reaction. Well done. I just
can't believe we're trying to even insinuate that Kante scored goals.
And you're trying to
that's insane to me. That is actually insane to me. Yeah. But I mean, touching on that topic too, like, where's this energy for Gallagher, for example? Someone who is a number 10.
Price tag.
That's what I mean. It's all just price tag. But, and like, listen, Gallagher is playing as a number 10. What is your number 10 supposed to do? What are KDB's and the Bruno Fernandes, the number 10s of this world doing? Goals and assists.
Marshall.
How many shots? How many? Real quick, Prime, before I let you go, how many shots on target this season does Gallagher have, as opposed to KDB and Bruno?
I can answer. Well, I can't fully answer that question. As of about a week ago, before we played Middlesbrough, he was first in the Premier League for most shots on target without scoring a goal in the whole Premier League.
I will say this.
And then again, we go back to he's playing as a number 10, an advanced role, an attacking role. He should be the one creating. He should be the one assisting, but he's not. And I don't see this energy for him. Why? Because he doesn't have the price tag. If he was 80 mil, 100 mil, maybe we have a discussion about him. But at the end of the day, you look at Caicedo, who's a DM, and you're expecting that from him, a DM. Even Declan Rice isn't doing that, and he's been phenomenal for Arsenal.
In the role in this team, Poch hasn't done. He's not meant to. He's not meant to even put through balls through. He's meant to stop the attack, pass it either way 5 yards to an end zone, back to Thiago to the wing, something like that. He has other players in the team to do that role, i.e.,
he's meant to collect the ball and
Palmer. Yeah,
he's meant to really collect the ball. And then one more thing, Prime, before I let you go, is where is this energy? If we're going to be going off of price tag as well, then where is this energy for Sterling? Where is this energy for Wesley Fofana? You know, where is this energy for these players that have cost us so much money, yet have shown, well, I'm not going to speak too much on Sterling, but mostly on Fofana, have shown very little in terms of what they're worth.
Sterling, he ain't got the numbers.
By the way, just go back. Kante's passing in the final third was atrocious. Okay? Absolutely atrocious, yeah? Because, you know what? They were asking to do stuff he doesn't excel at. Okay?
I don't think this is true, by the way.
No, he doesn't. I checked. It's if you go
Sterling,
across the whole. If you go in all comps,
Palmer.
No, sorry. If you go in all comps, it's Palmer. If you go just in the league, it's Sterling.
Yeah, but Prime, what were you gonna say, brother? Sorry.
Yeah.
Tell me you forgot your thought.
The comparisons is weird. I think the only.
I'm gonna head out. Sorry, Prime. I'm gonna head out. Enjoy. Well done, Adele.
I'll have to find his next victim, Andrew.
Yeah. I'm off to just do. Whatever. I'll see you later. Yeah.
He's off to collect souls. Have a good one.
So
go ahead, Prime.
Before Prime goes all wrong, it's Sterling
Poor
outright. Sterling has 8 assists in all comps.
Not enough to merit being free from criticism is what I'm trying to get at, Francis. We should be able to criticize Gallagher because of his inability to get us more goals and assists.
No, fuck his inability, bro. He at least on 3 occasions, while looking down at the ground, just put a random ball into the box. No thought behind it, just hoofed it into the box.
But Prime, what were you saying, my friend? You were saying the comparisons.
I think the only comparison, I don't know if comparison is the right word, but just like Kante is not a DM in the traditional sense, in my opinion, Caicedo is also not a DM as well in the traditional sense. And I think it's a shame that he's being used that far deep. Because I think it's kind of a waste of his talents. He's not even being used to it's not as if he's even sitting deep to play on the ball and start spreading it around and stuff. He's just being used quite basic to break up play like he's Kante. I think unlike Kante, Caicedo has a lot more ability, a lot more strings to his bow. Whereas Kante as a player, as great as he was at his own particular attributes, he was extremely, extremely limited. But these were, by the way, these are things that I was saying when he was playing at our club and he was supposedly at his best, and Chelsea fans didn't want to hear it. But the whole price tag. That's why I never talk about price tag when it comes to players, because they're not in control of how much teams spend on them. You know, I've seen Liverpool pick up Thiago Alcantara for 35 mil. The guy was a £100 million player. You know, I don't look at price tag. I look at your ability and your performances. I think Caicedo's may have started off rocky, but I personally think he has. I think he's been fine, and particularly when you factor in, if we're all going to be if we're all, all season we've been complaining about Poch and playing players out of position, and not using the right tactics and saying he's not good enough, then how can we point fingers and blame certain players? I feel, I've been saying this, I feel bad for some of these players because they're being thrown under the bus and scapegoated in favor of this manager. When our squad is not a bad squad. Player for player, our squad is a lot better than some of the teams that are above us in the table. I look at Villa, who we just played. I look at their midfield. None of their midfielders can even tie the laces of Caicedo or Enzo. If we get in a better coach, you will see just how good our players are. So yeah, listen, it is what it is. They can't dictate their price, but for people to be having to go on Caicedo and saying that he should be doing a lot more, well, what more do you want? Andrew was right. What more exactly do you want him to do? He's not going to be scoring. He's not going to be assisting. But if you actually watch the game, which I don't believe people truly like, I don't want to say like you don't know ball, but people don't actually truly watch the game for what it is. People are, and this is the day and age we live in. People they love the thrill. They love things coming, the quickness, and people love goals and assists. Yeah, people love goals and assists. But in terms of being able to sit and watch a game, and for the beauty of being able to say keep possession or break up play or a beautiful pass, people can't. People don't love that because you can't quantify that. You can't quantify per se a pass. You can't quantify what it takes to defend well and break up play or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe I'm off. It's just
No, you're right. And I think the thing is as well, with like going back to the price tag thing, it's like
this is a lot coming from this person, by the way. But yeah, go on, Scott.
As Jester said, like it's also as well not just the market demand; it's the club. Like there's a reason why Brighton valued McAllister at 30 mil, but Caicedo at 100 mil, or even at 80 mil before they raised it. Is because of what he was bringing to their team. They've already shown this season. They've replaced McAllister. What he was doing in that team, they've replaced it. They haven't managed to replace what Caicedo was doing from that team last season. That's why they're struggling. Because the guy they thought could replace Caicedo isn't quite there in terms of he's a bit behind in terms of like his development and everything. He's quite young. They've replaced they put Gilmour in that team. They put Gross back in that team regularly, and they've replaced what McAllister was doing for them. And replaced Caicedo. He's worth more to them. Enzo was worth 100 mil to Benfica because he was their best midfielder. Yeah. Like that's why, and he just come off winning a World Cup as the young player of the tournament. Like that's the thing. West Ham, Rice was worth 100 mil. Like to Ajax at the time, Anthony was worth 100 mil, and it was United, so they knew they could get it. Like the same club more often than not dictates the price at which these players are bought for. And it's like Prime said, like just because a player gets bought for 100 mil, like we all know that Enzo, Rice, and Caicedo are not 100 million pound players. Before Bellingham moved, he was not 100 million pound midfielder. He might be now.
100%.
Before he moved, he was not. In the 100%. Same way, Hoyland's not a 72 million pound striker. Mudryk's not a 66 million pound winger. Like these guys are not worth the prices. Equally, on the other hand, you could say that Cole Palmer's worth, based on what we've seen, way more than 40 mil. Yeah, but we got 40 mil, which looks a steal now. So it goes both ways. And like, if we're just going to base players based on their price tag, blame the club for paying that money. Do not blame the players. They did not set the price tag.
And I do want to address this before you go, Ahmed. Listen, at the end of the day, we need to be more open to hitting out on players not playing good enough. Okay. Based on that same logic, then I have the right to criticize Conte when Max P says here, take that back, Conte was not limited. He could do it all. He couldn't stay fit. He couldn't pass for the life of him. And he wasn't good at retaining possession. In the final third. But half the time that you guys like to nostalgify, if that's even a word, I just made it up. Copyright. Half the time where he would tackle and regain possession was him fixing his own mistakes. Don't get me wrong. I love Conte. I think he's a legend to Chelsea. I respect him, but that's not to say he's without criticism. He had his deficiencies. He definitely had his deficiencies. And And big up Abdel, you're new to the channel, but this is what we do here. We just try to be real. We try to be realistic about these things. And I understand, yes, Caicedo hasn't necessarily lived up to his price, but at the same time, he didn't choose his price, like what Prime said. Like and what Scott was alluding to. He didn't pick his price. In my opinion, I don't think that Caicedo is a £100 million player, £150 million player. I think 80 would have been a sufficient price for him.
It's 100 million a lot though, anyway. Because
with inflation nowadays, with the transfer market,
you see Declan Rice 100
don't
million.
know.
You see Jack Grealish was 100 million. Even wasn't Calvin Phillips like 60 million, and he's like
Something like that, I think so.
And the thing is, right?
Come on, Calvin Phillips, come on, like that's 40 million.
Like, let's just look at the player's ability, and if, like, for example, right, if you don't rate, not even like you say Caicedo, but you know, let's say, I don't know, Darwin
yes,
Núñez.
but he cleaned up his own mistakes too. Sorry, Brian.
If you don't, yeah, but you know, other players also protected.
He did do that, yeah.
Other players,
he was good at it. He was good at it. Yeah.
Other players in our team more than protected Kante's deficiencies, but no one will ever speak on that. But anyway, like if you don't rate certain players, like for example, say how much Liverpool bought for Darwin Núñez, if you don't rate him as a player, then surely then it's unfair to put the expectation of he should be performing at a high level for a whatever £100 million player, right? Like, so if you don't rate a player, don't put that expectation on him. If you don't rate Caicedo, then stop using the excuse of he cost 100 mil. Should be performing better. Performing to his level.
Was 90 million, sorry, as well.
No agenda. I love Conte, but it's just being honest about Conte. There's
listen, I like Conte for what he is. Like, it's obviously a very limited player. And the thing is, right, part of why certain managers who, for example, say Sarri or Tuchel, didn't drop them a lot earlier was because Conte was so good at what he was good at.
Yeah.
He was great at what he was good at.
Conte was a world-class player.
When you look at, for example, Sarri and how he played at Napoli and how he went to play at Chelsea, he had to fit Conte in. Conte wasn't good enough to play in that possession-based system, by the way. But he had to put Conte in because you can't get rid of a player who was that good at what he's good at. I listen. Everyone, I get it. People love the bald head that smiles so much, but Conte is such a limited player. Man. People don't.
I will
hate
say
this revisionism that he's.
Look at this guy coming in again for what player?
He wasn't amazing.
Oh my god!
I thought he did improve as a player on the ball.
I'm sorry, but I hate the stand culture of this Malteser head, man. I hate it. Kante is.
Hey, yo, oh my god!
Whoa! Right. I ain't gonna, man. What are we doing here, man?
Listen, I'm sorry, but the way people love and stand Kante, listen. Fugazi. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, hey, listen, 2022 those
interview.
I remember Kante before Sarri and after Sarri. I thought Kante
not even that. Listen,
was way better
people don't listen.
Yeah.
Listen, people don't remember in 2020, 2021. People don't remember how bad Kante was before Tuchel came in. Tuchel saved him with that Champions League run. Tuchel saved him. Listen,
I love Kante.
Arguably,
you could argue that, but I would say that was mostly on Lampard misusing him. Man played him on the pivot for most of the season.
You can still criticize the fitness, though, right?
Don't do that because the season before he was also poor playing in a double pivot. So what are we doing?
I wasn't a Chelsea fan back then.
We're not doing. Listen, I'm a Chelsea fan too, but I will not have Kante revisionism. This Malteser head, I won't have Kante revisionism.
Listen, I love my guy. Sorry, I love my guy. Sorry.
Is that Scott laughing?
But he was trying.
Call him Malteser head.
I'm sorry, he is.
No.
Hey, Prime. Fuck you. All right.
If anyone can name me another chocolate, listen. If anyone can name me another chocolate I could use, I don't know, but like Malteser is the person.
Whoa!
My God!
What is?
Time out.
Hey man, leave. Hey, now you're gonna now I'm gonna start
Time
agreeing
out,
with
wait.
Adele, man.
Listen,
I need to.
no one will admit
Come on,
this.
respect Champions League Conte, man.
Listen, no one will admit this because Kante was so elite at winning the ball, but he's a road runner. I'm sorry, he's a road runner. No one will admit it. He's a
Oh
road
Hey,
runner.
my
get him out of here, man.
days, bro.
Huh? Get him out of here,
Nah,
man.
chill.
Get
him out of here.
I'm sorry.
Get him out of here.
Listen,
Oh, Roadrunner, come on.
Listen, when
I guess
Tuchel,
Gallagher-
No, he was, but he was a good road runner.
No,
Like he was effective.
he was a world class road runner. But
Yeah.
when Tuchel said Gallagher has similar traits, listen,
He was a
road runners,
roadrunner,
they're
man. He
both
was a
road runners.
triplet.
I get it. They're both road runners.
But Gallagher's inefficient. Kante,
I know.
you know, that's
I know
the
that.
difference.
I know
Yeah,
that. But I understand the line he was trying to get. They're both road runners. I get
Bro,
it.
no.
Listen, Kante.
I mean, I know what you're saying, but there's
Listen, get him out there, man. Get
Roadrunner,
him
there's
out there.
Roadrunner like Gallagher,
Get him out there,
and then
man.
there's a ninja like Conte, like
Listen,
Zen
listen,
Tatsu
Kante,
Conte, you know,
Kante,
three
Kante,
Contes at a time,
Kante's
double
not-
team Conte.
Yeah, look what
Pause.
Eden Hazard.
Kante's not a ninja. He's just a world class road runner. He's not a ninja.
Let's
No.
talk to him, man. Listen,
No.
Kante does not move in silence.
time out,
Doesn't
man.
move in
Time out,
silence.
boys. Wait, listen, let's not talk about Kante anymore, bro. We're besmirching my boys.
Also,
Oh, actually-
sorry,
Go
to
ahead,
Adele,
Scott.
by the way, sorry. To
No,
Adele,
Scott,
he didn't
before you
win
go,
Leicester.
before you go,
No,
before you go.
hang on.
BLM Kante.
We don't.
Oh,
we don't
BLM
need-
Gallagher,
we
it's
don't
what
need
Kante
to
is,
slander
BLM
Kante.
BLM Kante, what
He,
the?
by the way, on a side note, again, I
What
do
is
love
happening?
Kante. He did not win Leicester the Premier League alone. He had Mahrez.
No, not
as well.
alone, but
Thank you,
I thought
Scott.
he's like one of the main, definitely main.
No, he
main
was.
guys.
No, yes, he was one of the main guys.
No, all it
It was
was
him.
Vardy.
Vardy and Mahrez.
And
Without
Mahrez,
Vardy
yeah.
and Mahrez, they don't win it either.
Listen,
He
no,
was that guy in
no,
that midfield.
no one's
they
gonna
needed.
speak in. No one's gonna speak in 2016 that Drinkwater carried Kante. But it's
Oh
fine.
my god. Get him out of here, man. Get him out of here, big man. No, you need a 5-minute timeout. We need a 5-minute timeout, man.
What's wrong
We
with
need a
you,
5-minute
Brian?
timeout. We need to time out for that, man. We need to time out, bro.
I have too tired for that.
That's a 5-minute timeout, bro.
We're gonna
Yeah.
put Prime backstage for that one.
Go backstage.
That was so cool.
That's
That was
crazy,
so
Prime. Prime, come on, man. No,
That was
this I'll allow it,
disgraceful,
Prime.
man.
Okay,
Yeah,
you go,
man.
Prime.
Lock him up for that, man. Lock him up. Put him in jail. Leave the key behind.
Oh
Throw
my
him away.
days.
Throw him away.
Oh man, but all right, I do, I do want to go on a different topic now, away from Conte. Which,
Yeah,
whatever, man. Big up, Del. Good discussion there. But let's go on to the other point of the show that I wanted to
Listen, man,
ask
we
you
love-
guys.
Listen, before this one end this year.
We love Conte. Yeah, I
We love
love
Conte.
Conte.
Listen,
Trust
We.
me.
Prime
No,
is just-
who's we? Who's we?
Listen,
Not-
we-
listen, Prime.
We-
Go backstage, Prime.
Listen, all of us here love Kante, by the way.
Calm down, Prime.
Yeah, man. Listen, this is Prime. You know, this is Prime's opinions. You know what I mean? Not mine.
Yeah, it's Prime.
Exactly.
What Prime
Thank you very
we don't
much.
hear it.
Yeah, there was a point where Prime rated Kepa. You know what I'm saying? That's just saying.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. That's all I know.
Prime's losing it backstage. I'm kidding, Prime. I'm kidding, Prime. I'm
You
kidding,
did.
man.
You did.
No. Well, maybe I don't know.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
He'll deny it.
Yeah, so sources say different.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. All right,
Let's I did
Listen,
want to bring
Kepa,
up.
Kante, 2 cheeks of the same ass, man. But anyway, let's move on. Man.
Oh, this
Fucking
guy kills
minerals,
me,
bro.
man.
Oh my days, bro.
At least Kepa could strike a ball. What did Kante do?
I did.
That's fine.
I did want to ask you guys. Do you guys actually believe that we are reliant on Palmer in the sense of we won't win a game. We can't win a game unless Palmer is playing well.
Basically since Jackson.
Yeah.
When
I
Jackson
mean,
went.
that is the correct answer.
Like
I don't
I mean,
know.
I'll ask yourself this question: who else are we relying?
Jackson, like
I
I
mean,
said,
in
attack.
Jackson went.
Jackson, well, yes and no to Jackson.
No,
I would
yes.
say some
Oh,
games that
Look at this hater, man. You're just hating, bro.
Listen.
You know what,
I-
man? We need to be honest, man. Marshall hates Jackson. You know,
I don't
calling
hate
him
Jackson,
touchy, calling him
but damn it,
touchy.
he's touchy.
No,
I'm just
I
saying.
don't listen. You are disgracing my guy, Jackson.
Listen,
Hold on.
You
So-
know,
so-
You see
so-
it, right?
so-
You see it, Marshall. You see it after
so
when
it's okay
Jackson
for Marshall
went
to
away,
hate
Mudryk is
to hate on a
shadowing
Chelsea
himself.
player. But if I do it, I get in trouble. That's why.
No.
Listen,
that's crazy.
you got to start your own channel,
listen.
Prime.
I just want to
It's
say,
long overdue.
I just want to personally,
Kick him
I
out,
just want to
go.
personally say, yeah, that listen, Jackson's my guy. We should stop hating him. I feel like
I
he's
agree.
a big part, yeah, of like the attack that, and we're really realizing this recently. Like, look at how some of our players are being affected by him. I would argue,
Bro, I can't wait till Jackson comes back and you remember why you were so frustrated with him.
bro. The reason
can't
listen,
wait. I can't wait.
Marshall, do you remember before the season how many goals did I predict that Jackson was going to score in the Premier League? Do you remember what I said? How many goals did I say, bro?
People are calling me
How
out in
many
chat
goals
to
did I
that,
say that
man.
he's
We
going to
was
score?
talking
Wait,
about-
You guys
wait,
watch
wait,
too
wait.
much Casually
Wait,
FC, man.
Chris, give me one hot moment. How many goals did I say Jackson was gonna? Did I say Jackson
I
was
think
gonna
he's
score?
10.
Between 5 to 10. That's what I said.
I feel like I'm
He's
pretty
already
sure
met my expectations.
He's
I
at
didn't
7
need-
right now, right?
I
Yeah,
think it's a 12 or
it's
something.
7 goals and 2 assists right now.
Maybe 12 in all competitions, but
7
yeah.
goals and 2 assists in the league right now.
And he's scoring a lot in the big games as well.
And
It's
for
not
me
even a small
personally,
game.
I listen. Yeah, listen. I've said this before. Yeah, he may be frustrated in front of goal, but the thing that he brings that is a lot more valuable that we're not seeing from any of the other guys that are in the middle is the link-up play centrally. That's what we've been
Listen,
missing.
I
And you,
get that.
and you just keep thinking about ball into the net. We're getting that guy in the summer. I'm not thinking about
Because
that stuff.
that's what
No,
Chelsea's
really,
missing.
If you need to get 6th place, you do not need a gunman. I'll be honest with you, bro. Right now, 6th and 5th, you don't need a gunman. Our wingers are scoring a plethora of goals, bro.
Ahmed.
And listen, I want to
Ahmed.
give you a good example. I'll give you a good example of a team that's been spoken about recently, earlier in this morning with the breaking news. Liverpool. Firmino wasn't scoring goals, but guess who was scoring goals next to him? Mane and Salah. We have Palmer,
that's the-
Sterling, Mudryk, and Madueke. They can carry the load too. For me, Jackson scoring, not that much, or maybe missing the chances, is okay as long as our other guys are just making sure to tackle that load too. That's all it is, bro.
AFCON tax is hitting everyone hard, man. You
It's-
guys are
I told
forgetting
you
how
before
frustrating
AFCON,
Jackson was.
Marshall,
Oh yeah,
before
because
AFCON,
we're in
Marshall,
paradise.
before I was backing this guy.
Can't wait.
You know me, I backed this guy the whole time. I was telling you
Yeah.
in particular, before AFCON, we've got recordings of this, but I told you, you're gonna regret, when he leaves. You're gonna start crying after game week 1. That was it called, Oh, Jackson's gonna, we're gonna miss him, and that's what you're doing right now.
No. Listen, I'm not.
And
I'm not gonna
on
sit
Jackson,
here-
by the way, like I said earlier, I'd rather him try and dribble around the goalkeeper than take a first touch with his knee that goes out of play.
Boja. Your boy,
Jesus
Marshall.
Christ,
Your boy.
Nayak. Listen, Broja's not the same player he used to be.
Oh,
But
yeah,
again,
he's
I'm going to
so
come back
good.
to Jackson. Listen, I'm going to come back to
And
Jackson,
listen,
Chris.
can I
'cause-
speak about something quickly? Can we speak
God
about
damn,
it?
speak
No,
already. Say it.
no.
Just say everything.
Listen, everything's coming
You
right
need
now
more
to me,
words. Open a dictionary. God damn.
One second. I've actually got a dictionary here, actually.
What you gotta give one second.
It's actually somewhere here in my room. But anyway, listen,
What?
I want to also add,
Okay.
talk about your boy, Victor Osimhen, and what he's doing at the AFCON for his nation.
Hold on.
The
No, this
chances
is
he's
AFCON.
missing.
Hold on. First of all, Ahmed, AFCON talk. You're not allowed to speak on it.
I'm
You're
not
Somali.
speaking
You're not allowed to
AFCON.
speak on it.
Listen,
That's
just
first of
because
all.
you didn't make the AFCON, our referee's making the AFCON. That's what
Listen,
matters, bro.
You're not. Second of all, AFCON is the best football competition on the planet. We've seen goats play at this tournament. Drogba, Eto'o, it look like bombs. Osimhen, listen, he scored a goal. He's won a penalty. He got robbed of a goal from an own goal. And Nigeria don't create enough for him. Listen, listen. I think he should be doing better? Yes, I kind of do. However,
Sitters, mate.
Has Jackson even really done
can I,
one
Marshall?
AFCON?
Marshall, am I allowed to speak, or can Ahmed keep interrupting me? Can I speak? Cool. Should he be doing a bit better? Yes, but does he also need more service? Heck yeah! If you actually watch Nigeria, which I do because I'm Nigerian, Ahmed, you don't even watch AFCON. You're Somalian. You should be,
Hey, he's Africa's not in there.
you should be doing something else. But me, I actually watch. We are horrific in front of goal. We've got no service. We've got no 10. I would take, Kante would be a better creator for us than what we have right now. And that's saying something because Kante can't back shit. Listen, Osimhen is he's doing what he possibly can do, lack of service. So all I'm seeing think pieces from Arsenal fans saying, "Is this the Osimhen that's linked to the club?" Listen, he's still a world-class striker, man. There's no better striker on the planet that's available. There's no better one that's available.
Listen, man. Victor Osimhen, man. Listen, he's looking a bit spooky. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? The statistics don't lie. You know what I mean? The statistics don't lie. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Men lie.
Listen,
lie.
Afcon. Listen, don't do this because Afcon exposed. Let's not do this because listen, Afcon is the biggest leveler in the world.
Afcon's a humbler.
It's not even a humbler. It's
always crazy.
It's not even a humbler.
I need to start watching Afcon.
No, Marshall, it's not a humbler. It's a leveler. I'm seeing Diomande, this brilliant young centre back, getting ripped apart like it's nothing. Riyad Mahrez, one of the best wingers we've seen, doing nothing. Mohamed Salah, this world-class forward, African goal, doing nothing. I'm seeing a right back, a guy who plays right back for his club, play up top and be top goal scorer in the tournament. This is AFCON, people. So anyone who wants to have criticism towards Victor Osimhen, listen, he's the best striker around that we could possibly get on the market. If you're not watching AFCON, shut the fuck up and let him come to our club, please. Respectfully.
So going back to what Ahmed was saying about Jackson, right? Listen,
get his name right, not Touchy. Yeah,
listen.
Say Jackson.
No, you know what? Just for that, he was talking about Touchy, right? Here's the thing.
£2 to get Marshall 5 minutes.
Here's the thing with Touchy. All that you're saying, I agree with. I like his link-up play. I like all that, and his dribbling ability as a striker. It's all good and well, but you know my criticism of him is inability to strike goals. You mentioned Firmino. You ask most Liverpool fans and most rival fans, they criticize Firmino for his inability to score goals as well. And Liverpool fans over and over and over will tell you they defended Firmino to the death because of his link-up play. And you know what? You know who else had a good link-up play that we sit here at the Chelsea fan base and criticize over and over and over again? You can say his name. You know what? You know what? I'll give you a friendly reminder. Who had good link-up play for Chelsea? Fucking Kai Havertz.
Oh, what?
Kai Havertz.
What?
You think Kai Havertz had good link-up play? His link-up play was shit.
He had good link-up play as well at Chelsea, but he didn't score goals. His finishing was shit. He was played for his link-up play.
No.
So again, but because his link-up play didn't lead to counter-attacking goals and all this chances and all that, bro, I'm just telling you, this is the reason that people wanted him to stay at Chelsea, because of his link-up play and all this shit, right? What do you mean? I'm not rewriting
history. They
wanted
him to stay because he won us the UCL, quote unquote.
Well, that too. But people who were grasping at straws to defend him were saying, "Oh, his link-up play is sensational." Yes. I don't give a shit. I'll fucking own up to it. But the thing is, the link-up play isn't enough when you're a striker, and especially at Chelsea, where we haven't had a finisher.
Jackson's already matched Havertz's best league season in the Premier League.
I'm not saying that, but like that's what I mean. But hold on. Let me just land, because here's the thing. I agree. Jackson has been the best striker we've had since Costa. I'm saying that right now. Yes.
No, Giroud is better.
Yes.
He was.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I'll give you that.
Best since Giroud.
But Jackson has been good, right? Especially for the price tag, especially for the age. I understand that, but it's still very frustrating when your striker doesn't have the tomato ketchup to fucking finish. And that's the part that is frustrating. Jackson can give me all the link-up play and all that stuff you want, but at the end of the day, if you're not gonna have the ability to be clinical and a monster in front of goal like an Osimhen or an Ivan Toney, then play left wing, bro. I don't mind it when you're playing left wing. I like Jackson better when he doesn't have shots on goal. I'll be honest. I like Jackson better when he doesn't have shots on goal.
I hear what you're saying, Marshall. But here's the thing: people need to understand that like Jackson is only for the season as our number one. Like I agree, and I said this when we even bought him. Ahmed knows that I was on his stream saying it, on his channel saying it. That Jackson, in my opinion, he's not good enough to be the leading striker for like a title-winning team. He's a good backup. There's the fact that he can score goals. He's a bit of a poacher. He's good hold up play. Like he would be a very good and servable backup striker. But to be the number one, he's not that guy. But having him in, for now, for this season, I don't have a problem with him. Like he could end the season arguably on about 14 goals, assuming because he already has 7 so far. 14 goals, that's fine. Because I barely expected him to get 10. So like for all the criticism he has, let's just park it, because for now, for this season, we need him to stay confident and stay on it to score more goals.
You know what it is, though, Prime? I'm going to add to your point, because I agree with you. The plan I always thought was, in our mind, there was to have Jackson as the main guy until we brought in the main one that was going to be the force. That was always the plan. And the thing for me, I don't necessarily need him to score. Again, he's already matched Havertz's thing. The link-up play that he's having with his fellow teammates is really good. Like, and that's the difference. Like, I'll be honest with you, bro. Kai Havertz's link-up play was not it, big man. And the thing that also didn't help Kai Havertz is that he had Mason Mount and Pulisic next to him, and who was the other guy that he used to have? Werner as well, was at one point Ziyech, who were not clinical when they were at the club. So I'll give Pulisic. Pulisic has been kind of clinical at AC Milan, because he's scoring a bit there. But like the thing for me, is that the link-up play wasn't great there. I think for me, honestly, Jackson, if he hits the 10 goals that I think he's going to do, which is what I believe anyway, bro, that's good enough to be your backup striker at Chelsea. Even if it's past, yes, that's what we needed him to be, bro. We didn't need him to be number uno.
He can be a player who can start left wing, who can play striker, who can.
We didn't. The advantage of Jackson, guys, and I'm pretty sure everyone here would agree with me. We didn't spend too much money. We only spent 30 million on them, boys.
That's actually
30 million on him, and the thing is, he's developing for us too. We can have Osimhen there for time. Then by year 2, year 3, we can have Jackson in there, who could be our main guy once he's fully developed. But that's the problem. But that's the problem with you, Marshall. You're just thinking about right now what he's giving you. You're not thinking about, okay, you can give me this for the time being. I know in a year or two's time, hopefully with the right coaching and Pochettino keeps on doing what he's doing with him, and we've got Osimhen there, you'll be fine. Again, what's the aim of the season? I know some people have decided UCL, but for me, to get 6th and 5th with Jackson is more than possible.
Listen, I don't disagree with that. I agree with you full-heartedly. But you said it right now. It's the right now. It's the immediate return. And you're sitting here with, Triple D chest saying that man's going to come back to Chelsea and we're going to start scoring goals. We're going to start winning games like he's a difference maker. No, we're still going to miss our chances just like we did today.
I think in this team though, he will help us win. Let's be honest, boys. He will.
I was going to say
he's going to help us make more chances.
Right? No, he will. He's going to take the burden off Cole Palmer a bit more off like that, and he's going to help probably Mudryk play again because
someone's got to finish those.
Since Jackson's went, I've just noticed since Mudryk's gone, since Jackson's gone, Mudryk's been a ghost. Like he's done absolutely nothing.
We'll come back to Mudryk because I disagree with that, but we'll come back to this because I do want to finish off the. Listen, we'll come back to this, but I do want to finish up on the Jackson point. Is that okay? We're saying all this about Jackson, right? And I agree. This is a striker that we got to develop to be the number one eventually, right? That's what I'm hoping for with Jackson. So what is wrong with me saying, hey, this man is touchy? That the one aspect of his game that he needs to develop is that ability to finish.
There's nothing wrong with you saying that, Marshall. It's just Ahmed who has a problem with the word touchy because Ahmed, for some reason, has claimed Jackson as his guy since the start of the season because Ahmed knows his real guy, Conor Gallagher, is ass cheeks. Anyway, another reason why we really need Jackson is because we need a presence and a focal point. I saw at times today, particularly in the second half, where
his hold-up play is also phenomenal.
Palmer was up top. and we were trying to work our way down the right-hand side through Madueke, but because we had no overlap, and Gallagher kept drifting out there as well to help Madueke, there was no way we could penetrate through. And then Palmer dropped out of the hole up top, went up to the right-hand side to help Madueke and Gallagher. We got the ball through. Palmer put an across in the box. But then there was no one there. That's why we need Jackson, because he's somewhat of a presence. And if we have some sort of an interchange, or not even interchange, but like we have some sort of a presence that helps Palmer even more. It helps our other forwards even more. That if someone switches or interchanges or whatever, or someone tries a move, they have someone else to feed off of. So, like, that's why we need a presence. And Broha, for whatever reason, just isn't it right now. And Poch isn't giving that Washington guy a run. So we need Jackson back. Or get a striker in January. Get Benzema, but Benzema's not happening.
I'd give away Oliver for Benzema, man. We can give away Oliver.
I listen. All in favor? Who's giving away Chris for Benzema? Say aye.
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 Even Chris would give himself away for Benzema. Yo. But I mean, I listen. I don't disagree with anything you said, Prime. It's not like I'm sitting here on stream saying that even if Jackson were to come back, I'd start Broja over him. Like, hell no. Broja's been shit, and I'll admit that. Broja's been horrible. But who knows? Like, maybe with patience, Broja comes good next season when he fully recovers from the ACL. This is his first season back.
He'll be gone by then, though.
He'll be gone by then. That's what I mean. I get it. I'm not saying he should stay here until next season.
Like, this is if he's going to earn a place, or if he's going to earn the patience for next season, it's going to be in a period like now when he has no competition.
No, I get it. I'm not disagreeing in any means. I'm not vouching for him to stay. I'm just saying that if we had the time, if there wasn't 3 other strikers we could choose from, if there wasn't links to Osimhen, then maybe next season Broja comes good because he'll be. I would say now I think he's fully recovered from his ACL. Again, Van Dijk came back from an ACL and looked like shit. And now he's
you act like he was amazing
best
before
back.
the ACL. He wasn't amazing for like even Southampton. Like
that's the thing. I don't know.
He was doing for Southampton for a striker.
But he definitely had more ability than he has now.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's got worse. He's definitely got worse with the ACL. But even so, we know Chelsea getting another striker next season. So he's going to be third choice striker. How much of a chance do you reckon he's going to get? He's not.
Chris. Bro is being sold anyway, so
no. But what I'm saying, Marshall said we should give him a chance. Stay at the club. If he stays at the club, he's gonna be a third choice.
I would give him a chance.
Yeah. I'm saying you would.
Well, he's not going to be given one either way.
I'm saying if he did, he's a third choice striker. He's not gonna get much.
I know, but that's why it's redundant. He's not gonna stay.
He's done at the club. He's done.
No, I get it. But
I don't think he's going to do it at any club, to be honest. He's finished as a player, I think, anyway.
He's not. Again, this is where Chris.
I don't think so.
This is where Chris does what Chris does and over-exaggerates.
This is a Chris agenda.
No, he was.
This is the Eastern European agenda you have, Chris.
Yes, definitely.
Chris, how can he be finished as a player when his career hasn't even started yet?
At Southampton, he didn't show me anything.
At Southampton, he was a kid playing his first season of
I get he was young, but I wasn't even like
he broke into the first team at Southampton.
Yeah, but he
broke into
a kid at Wigan. That excited me. This guy as a kid at Southampton did not excite me.
I mean, I wasn't. Why do you want a kid to excite you, Chris?
Hey yo, listen. Here's the thing. At Southampton, there's context. There's context to the reason why people are hyped about Broja. He broke into that first team. He was benched for a while, and then was it Armstrong? They had just signed Armstrong, who was supposed to be the replacement for Ings, and he ended up benching Armstrong. Armstrong was their record signing that season.
They had Armstrong and Che Adams, who were both very, like at that time, very talented, good strikers. And Broja, that loan for Broja, like it was assumed that he would be a backup because he's not going to start ahead of those two. And he broke into the team, and near the back end of the season, he was
Yeah, he
was
gassed out
starting
towards the end of the season,
Like,
obviously.
so,
Yeah.
like, again, for me, like, whether we sell Broha or loan him out, like in a year or two's time, when he's shaken off that that injury rust and he's allowed to get back on track of his talent and progression, like you'll see his development. I mean, it's telling that Wolves want him. Like Wolves,
Yeah.
you see how good they've been this season, and all
There's
they're
a lot
missing
of
is-
teams that
all
are
they're
linked
missing
with
is
this guy.
striker.
So it's a
There are
reason
of
for
teams
that.
A lot of teams who wanted him last season. West Ham
Yeah.
are also linked with him. Like,
But
let's not pretend like he's not good.
not even that. Like, even before his injury, when he was playing under Tuchel and Potter, let's not pretend that he didn't have moments of like, oh shit, this kid's got something here, and then he got injured. So we here on the panel understand that Chilwell has not been the same since his injury. But we're not saying Chilwell's washed. And in fact, actually some of us are. But in fact, we could say in recent time, Chilwell's actually been looking a little better. So maybe in given time, Broja could come good again. But if he gets sold, he gets sold. It's pure profit. I understand. There will be other Brojas. I'm not sitting here defending Broja. He has to stay. Like, no, I understand. But
Look at Kurt Zuma. Sorry, Kurt Zuma. Do people remember how good he was before his injury? He was what people think he was what people look at William Saliba to be right now. He was the best young centre back in the world. And the big injury he got, and the people not remember, he got a loan out to Wolves and he was loaned out to Everton to work his way back.
No, Stoke, not Wolves, I think.
Or not Wolves, sorry, Stoke and Everton to work his way back from his injury. And when he got back into the team at Chelsea under Frank, like, and under Tuchel, like he there's certain attributes that he looked good at in terms of his recovery pace, but he just couldn't play out of the back because that's just not his strong point. And he was sold. Look at him at West Ham the last season or so. He's been very good for them. He's been one of the best centre backs in the league outside the top 6. So the same thing will happen to Broha. Give him a year or two to shake out off that injury, and he will start developing as he should have been. So, like, this whole thing of he's just never going to be good enough, Chris. Like, relax, please.
Or maybe never not good. Maybe never good enough for us. Like, that's the thing. Like, Zuma is a West Ham style and level of player.
Yeah,
like, he's not Chelsea level. That means he's not good enough for us. But for another team, yeah, sure,
exactly.
Yeah. And again, I agree with this one too, EE. This is the best Broja gets sold, he won't develop as a third option. I agree. Yeah. Listen, right now Chelsea does not have time to develop Broja. One, because he's pure profit for the books. He is wanted right now. And two, we have other strikers that, cost us less than what we're going to sell him for. So it's just like, it's kind of a no-brainer. And plus, we want to get Osimhen. So when Osimhen comes, like, why are you going to have pure profit sitting there when other people want this player? So I get it. Like, at the end of the day, I don't disagree with selling Broja. I saw that touch today. I was there on Discord with you. It was shit. I hate seeing that. I hate seeing the guy that I rated play so shit. But I get that, like, it's confidence. It's regaining that striker instinct that you didn't have for a year of not playing. It's not like Ivan Toney, who was banned for a year. Ivan Toney was training and all that stuff and still playing behind the scenes. Not Broja. Broja was out with injury. He had to relearn how to use his ligaments and all that stuff because it was a terrible injury.
Ivan Toney, perfect example. When he was at Newcastle as a kid, no one thought he could ever make it at this level. People are looking at him now as a world-class striker. When he was at Newcastle as a kid, no one thought that was his potential. No one thought Mo Salah had the potential to be one of the greatest Premier League wingers of all time, and we bought him. Like, development is not linear. Players develop at different times, at different ages.
Yeah.
Players peak at different times and different ages. I just think, again, I agree, Broha, like, he's not going to get the development and time he needs. But him going and being sold, he'll be able to develop without the pressure of having to be the number one striker at Chelsea, and Chelsea are known to have a history of strikers not developing here properly. If he goes out, he goes to Wolves or he goes to a team in Europe, you will see within like the next 2-3 years, you'll see just how good he is.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see. I mean, not at Chelsea, but I feel like Chris left halfway through that conversation, just came back. You fucking asshole. But you didn't you asshole? You did. You left halfway through that conversation, didn't you?
I didn't just come back now though, but yeah, I did leave.
You piece of shit.
No, but like,
it is whatever. You're back at the right time. You're back at the right time because
young stocks on a young player is Jackson, not Broha.
No one said that. No one said that you should bet your stocks on.
That's fine.
Like that's a guy I'd rather develop at Chelsea.
I agree, but I don't think bro's just done. Like he still has so much career. He's done at Chelsea, but I don't think his career is done.
We've seen a couple of years, and I've been saying, yeah, I told you so. Look at Broha.
Sure, yeah. I'll mud you. I'll mud you, bro.
We'll see who mud too, eh?
You'll be muddy, bro.
Chris, you're a Timo Werner fan. Chris, you're a Timo Werner fan. Your opinion on strikers
He's done more in his career in Broha, by the way, so I'll just let you know that.
He's also had more of a career to fucking prove that. Bro's just 21.
Scoring like 40 goals and then win Champions League.
Timo Werner is like 27
22, sorry.
Yeah, he's 27. We'll see what Broha does.
Oh, he's 5 years older than Werner.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like, of course, Timo's done more.
Broha six goals in the league.
Timo's also had more howlers than Broja has had so far. So, like, come on.
It's up there. I don't know.
That's like me saying.
That's not up there, Chris. You shameless piece of shit.
I'm shameless. The guy scored like 6 goals in his most ever like top score in the league. I'm the shameless guy.
Yeah, of course he did. He's like 21.
Still developing as a player. 6 goals when he was 19. 19, Chris.
That's nice.
You're a piece of shit.
Chris,
actually, now that you're back, I do want to address something.
Chris, he's 21 years old.
He's 22 now. He just turned 22.
22.
So, yeah.
He's getting to the big boy years.
Chris, what were you doing at 22 years old? Shagging sheep?
Me? Shagging sheep, there we go.
No, we're not doing this, okay? Listen, we're moving on to the other thing I wanted to talk to Chris about. Is about Mudryk. Listen, I think too many, and Ahmed's back just in time too. I think too many people are hanging on to this notion that Mudryk and Jackson link up play, preseason link up play, sensational world class link up play. I think it's bullshit. Listen, I'm not gonna blame real quick, let me just land. I'm not gonna blame the absence of Jackson for how poor Mudryk is at keeping the ball and the dumb decisions he's making on the ball, the inability to maintain the ball. Like last game against Middlesbrough, bro, first of all, it's Middlesbrough. You should be able to perform regardless of the fact everyone else did fine, but you can't because Jackson's out there. I think that speaks levels about Mudryk. Yes, I get it. He's still young and developing and all this shit, but I don't think this Jackson link-up plays any validity to it. Yes, they had a nice goal in preseason against Brighton. I don't think that's the reason why Mudryk can't play since Jackson's left.
It's not about preseason. I just noticed he hasn't even
we've seen more than just in preseason, I promise you.
All right, listen, guys.
Is this to Oliver?
Somewhat.
Yeah, I do think so. Yeah, I remember one game in particular, the Bournemouth 0-0. You know, they were linking up. They were linking up to get Mudryk creating chances, and we all know, Gallagher missed those chances.
That's fine, but
listen, let the drill sergeant talk right now. You know what I mean? The guy that knows
this
the topic very well. You know what I mean? I know these guys like the back of my hand. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, listen. Going back into Mudryk.
Hey, yo.
No, it's not. This is saying I know this person at the back of my hand.
I know. But
Four. Listen, guys, £2 again. Marshall, 1 minute timeout. You know what I mean? So we can get a break. Listen. Going back to it, Mudryk. When it comes to Mudryk, though, in particular, yes, he's been playing quite good. Now, I think, of course, part of it may be that he's more used to having a centralized striker, similar to what a lot of people say about Sterling. How if he's next to a striker, he's a lot better, right? Now, obviously, he's been playing poor. For example, in the previous game with Chilwell, part of it was obviously I feel like those two don't have any chemistry and they occupy the same space.
Smash those legs, ladies and gents.
And I also think like the manager, Pochettino, I think he needs to kind of like get them in a room and like kind of like find a way that they can both work together, for example. I'm just talking about like the previous game with Mudryk. Then there's also
Sure.
the Palace game, which I think Francis makes a good point towards. But again, I think that this, but I also think, one thing where we need to understand the Mudryk, this is something you're gonna have to expect. It's gonna be some highs, there's gonna be some lows. So we just gotta roll with them until he starts giving that consistency, I'm afraid. That's just the reality of young players and their development boys. Some players are not gonna be good. Look at Cole Palmer today. Cole Palmer is similar age to this guy, right? He was clinical. Yes,
I don't know about similar. No.
They're similar age. I said similar age. Didn't say that.
Similar age. I thought you meant similar form, like consistency.
No. I'm not going form. I'm saying to you though, like you saw today, for example, he missed his chances. But in the previous game, scored 2 goals, assisted. It's the same thing that's gonna probably happen with Mudryk too. He's gonna have some games where he's really bad and some games where he looks really good. Until he can find that median where he's able to produce at his best and be in that middle of the line and keep on doing so, this is gonna be happening, boys. I don't know how else to tell you that.
Go ahead, Oliver.
I was just going to say, on the whole Mudryk and Jackson thing, I don't see it as an excuse. I don't think, like, anyone that's making the point that they link up well, they're not saying that we shouldn't expect Mudryk to link up well unless Jackson's on the pitch. It's just a matter of fact that they have a good level of chemistry that we've seen and that there's evidence of. I'd agree to that point, but I wouldn't. It's not an excuse. I expect Mudryk to do better without Jackson, but it's a matter of fact that they play well together.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Like, yes, they do play well together, but I'm not going to say that since Jackson's left, he's been poor. And on that notion as well, but that's not the reason why he's been poor. That's not the sole reason why he's.
It's a factor, yeah.
I think Jackson being there, how Jackson plays his link up and how he drops deep, does help Mudryk get those goals.
Sure,
because since Jackson's gone, he has not even got a single assist or goal since.
But the thing is, though, even with Mudryk, I disagree with what Ahmed's saying in terms of form. I feel like, and I may be the only one on this, I feel like this season he's had more bad games than good ones. I'll be honest.
But again, Marshall, this is I expect this to be the case. I'm not expecting him to be good all the time, bad all the time. Even if it is averaging out to be currently bad, it's a part of the process with him, I'm afraid to say. Because when we we didn't buy a guy that was halfway complete or almost complete. We brought a guy that is extremely raw in talent. This guy's a project player. A project player is not going to be successful in the first year or even at times the second year. It's usually the third year where they kick on. Like, I don't know.
An 8-year deal. There's plans ahead for him.
No, but like this is just. I feel like this is just the reality of the situation. I know that right now he's not good enough. I can understand what JP is saying, that he is not good enough right now. Right? That's true. But the reality is, this guy probably is only going to be good in a year or two's time. He's not going to be good right now.
I mean,
look at I think a good example. I think a good example, for example, is Saka. Look at Saka, for example. Saka, I think in his second season, only had like 1 goal. I think in the whole year or something like that. Or 1 assist in that whole time. He was playing on the left wing. You remember that?
I remember Saka. Obviously, he was getting like obviously slow into that team. Like
and that was his first full season playing non-stop.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
He had to play a wing back for a bit as well because he just wasn't doing good enough for like.
I was going to say he was doing fullback shifts a lot.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and you look at Mudryk. Mudryk's not even doing proper wing duty as well.
Yes, he is. Yeah,
and
he is tracking back a lot as well. Actually.
Yeah, and JP Saka, it is true that Saka's going to Mudryk, but the problem is Mudryk has played extremely less amount of games than Saka.
True, that is true. Yeah. Which is, I mean, this is what I want to get at. 2 things, right? I can understand, like, as much as we're frustrated with Sterling, and I would say in current form, Sterling deserves to be benched. Look at your option. It's Mudryk, and he's so hot and cold, and I would say primarily cold this season. Not in a good way, not in Cole Palmer cold way. And so, like, you have no choice but to play Sterling. So it's frustrating in that sense that this player, for as much talent as he has, he just can't keep a consistent run of games. He can't keep a consistent run of form. Even after he has a good game, he's injured for the next. It's happened at least 3 times this season where he has a good game, injured the next game.
Injury. He normally has those
he gets a knock or something and he's out of contention for the next game.
Like
You can't, like, this guy can't get a run of game. He can't get into good form like this. He can't develop as a player like this, which is frustrating. I would say he needs to go on loan. But okay, you know, going on to what we were saying about players developing as well. These comments right here, Max P is nailing it on the head, which is what I wanted to say. Today, Nani showed he's better. I would say that people keep talking about these guys in the same sentence. I don't think we should be able to.
No, they said this though. Yeah, I think people who do that are stupid because Nani was playing somewhat regularly at. Was it called PSV?
PSV, yeah.
They play Europa League football, some level of UCL football from the majority of the time in the league. So, and they play a lot of football. So, again, it's to be expected. When they get someone
Sterling's on good form up until he has to make a decision. He's been shit the last 2 games when it comes to the decision.
Sterling could have been good if his making was a lot better.
Like even Middlesbrough, he was frustrating, even though he got 2 assists. You know, like. Yeah. I get what you're saying, EE, but this is my take. I feel like there's been patches of game where Sterling's been a lot better than the last 3 games. But, you know, going back to the Mudryk Nani conversation, there are people saying that these players are around, like, in the same sentence, in the sense of, like, oh, they're still developing and all this shit. No. Madueke hasn't been favored early on in the season under Poch. We all know this. We discussed this, all this and that. He comes in with a freaking vengeance, and now he's getting regular play time, and he looks clinical. I would say he's our best dribbler in this team.
Precisely.
This guy looks absolutely scintillating on the ball when it comes to dribbling. He should have had a goal. If it was another goalkeeper, I would have said that would have been a goal. Emi Martinez is just a phenomenal keeper. I got to give him that. This guy is the thorn to our side every time we play Aston Villa. So with Nani, though, this guy is so much more ahead than Mudryk when in terms of development.
Can you get out of your mouth, mate?
Hey, yo, come on now. Hey, yo. This guy.
That's what you got, bro. I mean, you been too deep, man.
Hey, yo, pause. But, like, do you disagree? Am I saying anything wrong? I think he's the best dribbler in the team. He's been doing a lot better coming in as a sub. He looks further ahead than Mudryk when it comes to the development stages. What's there to disagree with that? Everything I'm saying is facts.
You're choking too much. Chill out, man.
Hey, chill you. You need to chill, bro. Yeah, that's rich coming from you. Where you were glazing him up all season, like Poch, you won't let me get on my knees for him, man. Poch, all this and that.
Hey, yo.
You see, with Nani, like, he is.
Yeah.
I agree. He's by far the best dribbler on this team, and it's not even based on this season or recent games. When Nani was getting game time under Lampard last season, he was still averaging, league best level dribbling numbers.
Oliver, building off your point, and before you continue on, I would say he's improved on his dribbling since last season. He's actually looked more dangerous.
I don't even know that. I don't even know if he has, like that. Fair enough if that's your opinion, but I think like he was just. Yeah. I'm not saying this in a bad way. I think he was just as good at dribbling last season as he is now, and I didn't understand, because he's clearly got this ability. I didn't understand why Poch wasn't tapping into this earlier, and in many instances you could argue that would have cost him. So. Mm-hmm. That's a frustrating one, but I've always appreciated his abilities. He's always appeared to be the player further along in development than Mudryk.
So can we go to Francis' comment quickly? By
the way, been asking all freaking night.
But like, do you not think that's I don't think it's wrong to say like directly. Maybe it's just I would say I'm thinking about how to say this correctly. Maybe it's just maybe what he's telling them to do. I think I agree with you with Broha. Maybe that might be true, but I think with Mudryk, there's always one of the wingers that doesn't like press fully, if that makes sense. Like when we do the 3, like one of them slightly holds back just in case. and then they have the two that do the dribbling, or like Gallagher will join in that to make the three, and then one of our wingers hold back, if I'm not mistaken.
But also, like the thing with Brozier, I'm not really. I don't know about you guys. I don't really look for the striker to be pressing like loads.
No, not really.
Because, like, you know, if they're pressing, they've got two centre backs in front of them. You press one, they just pass the ball across or back to the goalkeeper. It's just wasting energy. The only thing the striker really does, they're meant to block passes across. So if the ball's with the left centre back, the striker will position themselves in a way that they can't pass it to the right centre back. So it's not really a press. It's more of a sort of lane marking.
Yeah, like an intercepting, kind of jockey.
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah. Vic, to address this one though, the problem was never Nani's dribbling. It's the final third decision. He's a bit selfish. See, unlike Sterling, I don't mind it with Nani because when Nani gets the ball, I feel like he's not going to lose it. I feel like this guy, before a game starts, he goes on the pitch and he's like, I'm going to cook you, I'm going to cook you, I'm going to cook you, and you, and you. Like, this guy has the confidence to just dribble past these players and not lose the ball. We saw it today against Aston Villa. He had the one play where he dribbled past like the whole team pretty much. Like, it was insane. So listen, now you can say I'm glazing. I'm glazing. All right. Now
I'll tell you one thing with Nani though, because like
he's been really impressive, man.
He does these like great dribbles, and he attracts players to him. He can sometimes have like on the edge of the box, he can have like a wall of like three players blocking a direct cross into the box.
Mm-hmm.
One problem I have with this team is there's no one on the edge of the box for him to cut it back to, and then like you've just taken three players out of the game. What Nani has to do a lot of the time, he has to try and play a cutback through a wall of three players because he doesn't have any other passing options. And then when it doesn't get through, they blame him, even though A, there's no one on the edge of the box, and B, there's no one in the box to begin with, and that's just something that's got to be addressed.
Coach is Marshall for Nani. You see that? You see that little dribble coming out?
That's because. Anyway. Can I go?
No, Sterling. I don't think Sterling is a team player. Well, he is, but he's also not on the pitch. I can't tell you how often today he just dribbled into defense the whole time. Didn't even pass or look to pass.
Just go and rewatch.
Shit.
Just go and rewatch the last time he played Aston Villa, and go and rewatch Wolves, and tell me again that he's a team player.
Sterling is a team player, though. I do agree with that part.
Sometimes.
No, he's like this season. He's actually been creating a lot.
But do you know?
Been trying to go
okay. He's made assists, but like, do you know how many times today that he always went on the dribble? And like, granted, I don't rate Gallagher, but Gallagher was on the inside there to offer the passing option. Sterling just constantly tried to drive to the byline.
What was the game? What was the game where Sterling was in on the keeper and he could have passed it to Palmer? And he didn't.
So Aston Villa at home and in the Premier League.
It was very recent.
No, it was
Middlesbrough.
It was two. It was Wolves and Aston Villa.
Oh, Wolves. Yeah, Wolves. Don't tell me he's a team player after seeing that highlight.
Just a one-off. Yeah, I remember that game. Yes, just because of one-off.
There's literally a meme. You guys have all probably seen it. There's literally a meme of Sterling playing for England, and Reece James is on the right, and he's like wide open, and Sterling just tries to dribble into the box, and then he tries to dive to get a penalty.
But I expected that from Sterling coming from Man City. That's the thing. I expect Sterling. That's Sterling right there. That he's never been any different. That's Sterling at City. He's always been that way. Go ahead, Prime.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Our manager doesn't coach attacking. Well, quote unquote manager. He's not my manager. Your manager. But this guy doesn't coach attacking patterns and scenarios. Like this whole thing and myth people say about, it's not a manager's job to coach an attack. Well, it is. It's your job to coach a certain level of structure and way of playing. As great as Man City are, Pep coaches particular patterns and scenarios for players to follow. Poch doesn't do that. that situation that you were talking about with Madueke, and what you were saying about how there's a simple cutback and there's no one there, that's a lack of coaching. Not being
If that's a Pep team, 5 players in the box, I promise you.
Exactly. When I look at Chelsea,
Yeah, okay. So,
and I look at I look at the way we've attacked this season, like we don't have a clear style of, and that also explains why we struggle against low blocks. We don't have a clear way.
Prime. This is why it devolves into just crossing.
Exactly.
Mhm.
We don't have a clear way of breaking teams down. And people want to compare us to previous years and say, "Oh, Chelsea haven't been able to break teams down for years." Before, it was a lack of player quality. Previous years, we've had the likes of Old Man Willian, Old Man Pedro, Prime Kante, who was always washed. We've had Havertz, and Mount, and Werner, etc. Now we have quality players, but they're not being coached. So, why is it?
Bro, you're a cheeky one,
What
bro.
did I say?
You're a cheeky one,
No,
bro.
but listen, I apologize. I apologize for accurate William.
Listen, man.
It was so expertly done, by the way.
What did I, Marshall? What did I apologize for the William slander. Actually, wait. I apologize.
You know what's crazy, man? You know what's crazy about William? William would actually cook in this team.
Yeah, probably.
He would. Hey, Ahmed. Do you know who wouldn't cook in this team though? Let me not say the name though.
Listen, you know what's crazy about
I prefer really
William,
not to.
You know what? Yeah, I was
not to
cussing
speak.
at William actually in this very stream. I think it was 2 streams ago, talking about how he only used to have 2 moves at Chelsea, yeah, where it was the little fake dribble, and then he would do the little to the byline and then cross, or the little fake dribble.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
It's true though. It's true.
It's true.
Just 2 moves with William. That was it.
No.
Listen, you know what Kai Havertz's favorite move was, by the way?
Wait, what? Okay, go.
Havertz's favourite move?
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Nothing. Because he was that shit. No one remembers him for that nonsense.
Anyway, let me answer. Ahmed, no one laughed. Anyway, to answer Curry P's question, what he said to me, about how it's something about Rachel gets you to the final third. It's up to the players for the rest of the. It's up to the players to score. Well, that's my point, though. Poch isn't even getting us to the final third. If Poch coached a structure and was saying, listen, this is what you do in certain scenarios. If one player makes a run, someone should make a dummy or someone should go here or there. And then we had the system and the players were failing and executing it, then I'd be like, fair enough, it's down to the players. But I can't blame the players when they're not executing a certain system. There was a reason why, for the most part, anyway, under Tuchel, I had so much vim for our players because he had a certain pattern that certain players just weren't executing or just weren't good enough. We have players who are good enough. It's now down to the coach.
Can I just say quickly, yeah? So the quote that Tuchel said about the attack will sort itself out, that is true because you're literally seeing our Bayern, by the way, because he's got Sane, he's got Kane, Musiala, etc., and they're essentially doing their own style of play to be able to do what they need to do to score.
Okay, we don't have Kane, we don't have Musiala.
No. I'm just saying that there is truth to what he said, by the way, in terms of.
Yeah, I know, but Ahmed,
he expected that, and I think he kind of expected that with the guys that we had, because I think believed in them, but obviously that wasn't the case. I'm backing up.
Yeah, I know, but like I'm saying, yeah, maybe, but Pep doesn't do that though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to make. I think, I would add to your point is that the problem though with that doing that with our current players is that because they're so young, they're gonna make a lot of mistakes. This is why for me, it's better to build up attacking patterns of play for these guys, such that if their thing doesn't work, they at least have a way of creating chances
that can they rely on. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. That's something I've always made the point of, because like it feels like to me, whenever we play in attack, and this is stuff I've said a lot of times on the stream. there's no like if the individual brilliance isn't working from Palmer, Sterling, and Madueke, even a Mudryk or a Jackson, then it's GG's because that's all we can really well and truly rely upon.
And Ahmed, this run we've went on, this 7-game, 8-game run we went on, has been Palmer individual brilliance.
Exactly.
I said it during this run, by the way, that we haven't looked. Poch isn't doing anything great. We're just having individual brilliance. All of a sudden, the individual brilliance run, barring the last game, before that, all of a sudden, individual brilliance kind of runs out. Palmer doesn't score, and we can't score again, or we can't do anything. So, and also the beautiful game saying that Prime's behavior today. What have I done? Listen, I apologize for what I said about Willian. I rate Willian. I apologize.
By the way, to answer Vic's previous comment, yes.
No, but Poch has been very open. I think Poch is very open about the fact that he doesn't really teach attacking plans. With him, he's not even about that much about tactics in training, apparently, from what we know. And I think for me, that is the part of where you guys know I've always been Poch out necessarily is because I'm not seeing it on the pitch. I know a lot of people talk about they're seeing plans of play now, stuff like that. Even now, I'm not seeing it as much. I'm just seeing that we do possession football, but I'm not seeing like a style of play. There's no we don't create chances the same way every single time. By the way, like with Man City, there's always a way that what's it called here? There's not always a consistent way of attacking that I've seen from these guys. If that makes sense.
By the way, I'll explain my answer to Vic's comment just for anyone that's confused.
What goes, France is a lot. I've watched 90% City games this season. I haven't seen what you guys are talking about because the last 10 games Foden has been saving them. No, but listen, I think it's wrong to be necessarily looking at this season's City. If you look at last season's City, the season before City, like the City when they have their full squad, KDB, everything like that, you can literally see that their attack is being coached. But then truly, obviously this season is not necessarily the case because of the fact of how many how many guys
the system, isn't it?
Yeah, and like they have an actual system. Of course, not all the chances are going to be created the same way, but they will always have a known. They have their own guaranteed chance creation with what they do. Always having their guys out wide, switching play. We know that before. Having the thing that he does where it's only 3 people can be in a certain area, right? And like the way the players move, we don't even have that, bro. Like I don't know why people think that. All we literally is that we have to rely upon Madueke or Sterling or Mudryk beat their guy 1v1, really. And then even then, when that comes to happening, we don't even have a guy in the box to do the cross.
Exactly. It's always them having to beat. It's always them having to beat someone 1v1.
I said to you, France. I said this season is not necessarily the case because of the injuries they've had. The injuries they've had have helped them out a lot more compared to what's happened previously.
Actually, I even disagree with that comment because Pep came out and said, was it Pep? I think it was Pep. Pep came out and said that they are playing the exact same way with KDB as opposed to without. The only difference is like KDB is like their best player. So City without KDB, they can win games, sure. But KDB is the X factor. You saw against Newcastle, what they were doing in the game wasn't working. They bring on KDB and they win. That is what it's called having an X factor. But the system still obviously remains the same. There's no reason Pep would have changed the system. It remains the same. But certain players, like, the saying of your players, your system should get the best out of your players and your players should get the best out of the system. We don't have either of that. We don't have a system to get the best out of these players, and these players obviously can't get the best out of a system that's not there.
And before Oliver, because I know you wanted to explain yourself on something, before you do that, guys, we're 3 likes away from 40. Smash up the like button. I feel like I don't remind you enough, so go ahead, smash up the like button and subscribe. Yeah, we're almost at 40 likes. There's almost 50. There's about 53 of you on stream right now. So smash up that like. Helps out the channel big time. But Oliver, you wanted to explain yourself on something?
Yeah, I responded to Vic's comment where he was like, "Oh, just Poch just tell him to run in training," and I was like, "Yes." I'll explain why, and it's quite simple. And if anyone can explain otherwise, then fair enough, I'll listen to it. But like, So we played. I think it was Fulham. We played Fulham on the 13th of January, and when we played Middlesbrough on the what's that?
I said big up, guys. We got
Big up,
you
guys.
got the
sorry,
likes.
sorry.
We got the likes up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we played Fulham in the Premier League on the 13th of January, and we played then Middlesbrough on the 23rd of January. So that's 10 days between two games. How is Malo Gusto picking up muscle overload in that time? Unless the training is all dedicated to just fitness. You tell me, man.
He's not wrong. So most of the training seems
How can you pick up muscle? How can you muscle overload with 10 days of effectively rest in terms of like matches?
Yeah.
And by the way, 10 days in counting because he wasn't on the bench today either. He wasn't in the squad.
Yeah. One thing I do want to talk about before we, start wrapping up the show is I feel like we didn't give enough praise to Georgi Petrovic today. In today's, this man has been phenomenal, and I am very. Do you guys think Poch is going to just go back to Sanchez when he's fit?
Yes.
I don't think he can, I think in this case, I don't think he can.
Because that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling right now too, Ahmed. Is I feel like Petrovic has just been so good that it would be pretty disgraceful, and I think even Poch wouldn't see the sense in it. In why drop this goalkeeper? I want to say this could be a stat, to be honest. I don't know, but I feel like ever since Petrovic come to the team, our form has drastically improved. Like, I could be wrong about that, but I feel like it is true. Like, how many goals have we conceded since Petrovic has joined the club?
I can't remember, but I do know. I did see a tweet after the game. I did see a tweet. I think it was after this game, or it might have been applied to the previous games. I can't remember, but I think what was it? Petrovic has started 11 games and we've kept 4 clean sheets. So
does anyone? Yeah, that's a big one right there. Does anyone remember what Petrovic's first game was since
Everton?
Sanchez's injury?
It was Everton off the bench,
and then he started the next game straight away.
Okay, let me actually check since Everton. Then let me look.
What was the game after that? Was that Sheffield United or something else?
Okay, so Everton, right? So Everton beat us 2-0 that day.
He came off the bench, though.
He came off the bench. So we kept a clean sheet against Sheffield. We beat Newcastle in penalties in the Carabao. And yeah, Petrovic was a big part of that one. We lost to Wolves 2-1, which is unfortunate. Then we beat Crystal Palace, beat Luton Town, although we almost started to capitulate towards the end there, but we still beat them regardless. We beat Preston, lost to Middlesbrough, thanks to how did we lose again? What was the goal again? Was it Petrovic's fault? Was it Petrovic's fault? Was it?
No, I can't remember what the goal was. I've probably repressed that memory, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of want to repress it as well.
What game was this?
Middlesbrough game.
It was the Cole missed the header. Then it was Thiago Silva, and then the guy that sent him and because he couldn't do anything.
Caicedo let his man go off, and yeah.
Yeah.
Fulham, sorry, Scott, Oliver. Then we beat Fulham. We beat Fulham, Middlesbrough. We beat. Like, we've been in much better form since Sanchez has been dropped. Mind you, when Sanchez fell with injury. Mind you, prior to Sanchez's injury, we lost to United. We beat Brighton, lost to Newcastle, drew against City, beat Tottenham. I mean, this is okay. We beat Blackburn Rovers, lost to Brentford. We had more losses under Sanchez. And again, no one can forget the Arsenal game. That was a big one too. So it's I think you look at those stats and I can't help but think that it would really, 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 really be dumb of Poch to drop him and all of a sudden just bring back Sanchez, considering the form he's in. Like,
But
it's
we've also said that he can't possibly continue with Levi Colwill as a left back. And
yeah, that one.
he
Yeah,
has
that one
done.
I don't get.
Like
At least-
this is the thing. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you're wrong in the fact that that there is no reason that he should be dropped. That's absolutely correct. There is no reason he should be dropped. I just don't have any confidence in Poch, and it's not only based on that, like sort of the Colwill thing, just sort of extrapolating that onto this, but also based on the fact. What was it again? I've lost my train of thought. Damn it.
Hey, listen, man. At the end of the day, mate. Listen, let's wrap it up, lads.
He's just trying to play pro clubs.
I just said that
Might
right
be. Hey,
Oh no, sorry. I remember what I was going to say. It's also
Go ahead,
based on the fact that in the cup games that Petrovic was
worry,
eligible to play in, he didn't even give him a shot until the injury, Sanchez.
Mm.
Because you got to remember, he wasn't eligible for Wimbledon due to like visa and stuff. But every other cup game after that Sanchez was fit during, there was a chance to put Petrovic in there, and he would even take that risk. So leads me to believe that you must have a great deal of faith in Sanchez. That's just me.
Yeah, Francis, I don't disagree with this too either, really. But I mean, actually, at left back, I actually do disagree. I feel like Colwell's
They're just as bad.
confidence is shattered.
They're just as bad.
I feel like Chill is just slightly ahead of him, but I don't know. That could be just recency bias.
I don't rate Chilwell, but just for the attacking aspect, just him, please. Yeah. By the way, get better soon, Colwill. I know you get injured.
I did want to ask you this, and this will be our final, topic before we wrap it up. And Raid, this is football, so
Is this the second time Colwell has got injured this season?
Yes.
Third time, maybe.
Second.
Minor injury. I think Poch said in the
they've
press
been close.
conference.
Yeah, it wasn't major.
Yeah, I think Poch said that it's just a discomfort he had, so that's why he didn't want to risk it. But
at the end of the day, him not playing today wasn't the reason we didn't win.
Yeah. But now that we've seen Petrovic and how he's been playing, do you guys think that we should still go into the market in the summer for a goalkeeper? Do you
For
feel like
me-
it's still necessary?
For me, I've always said that goalkeeper is not a massive priority like a striker and a fullback is.
You need to
We can go a
season.
season. We can go another season with Petrovic as our number one and just see.
For me, sorry, go on, Ahmed. Sorry.
I was gonna say for me, obviously left back probably is gonna be a priority for next season. Possibly
Yeah, I
a right
agree.
back is gonna be again for me also another one. Right back is gonna be one we have to look at for sure. Striker obviously we're gonna probably bring in Osimhen. I'm gonna be honest, maybe a left winger might be needed, guys. Hot take by me, left winger might be actually needed at the football club.
Hear
I
And
You
I
know
said
What
that-
do you mean hot take by you? We know you don't like Sterling.
It's not even Sterling. I'm just saying, even with Mudryk, I feel like he's still gonna need what's it called time. By the way, so it looks like for me, if that is the case, and then obviously there was the article that Oliver sent me from the SI Phillips, which is that there's a rumor that he might be leaving at the end of the season, Sterling. So if that is true, then you're gonna need a left winger, whether we like it or not. Now, who that's gonna be is gonna be interesting to see who they have, lined up in that case.
Anthony Nusa.
No, I personally don't think it's gonna be Nusa. I think because the problem is you already have a lot of prospects already there. I don't think they're gonna add another prospect onto that one. I'll be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised with these owners.
I feel,
That explains the Liao links then.
No, I feel like definitely for sure there's going to be someone else they're going to bring in, by the way. I don't know who it's going to be, but it'll be someone else, in my opinion, that they'll definitely for sure bring in as another left winger. Remember, Kvaratskhelia has also released scores that opens up and this summer. I think
we were linked with
and
him.
remember, we got to Francis Nico.
That's
to play
true.
left wing.
This is true.
And I was talking about him.
Yesterday,
2 days ago, remember?
2 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, there's options. They already have guys that are already in their back pocket that they've been thinking about for a while. So again, this is why I think it's very interesting. Obviously, the left wing situation. Obviously, my thoughts on the right back situation. I just, you have to bring in another guy now. We can't trust Reece James to be a steady Eddie, even if he does get the surgery post up. We don't know if he's going to be 100%. If that's the case, bring in another right back. I've spoken about before. Assignon from Rennes would be a perfect guy who can compete with Thingy. Very good going forward too. It'd be provide some good level of competition at the end of the day.
Would you guys have wanted Kieran Trippier?
I wouldn't have minded him.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded him.
As of when?
Because
in the beginning of the season, I'm sure.
January.
January, no.
Would I take him now, basically?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he can play
absolutely not.
I mean, why though? He's a good backup to Gusto.
No.
He's been washed since like October.
No, but the thing is, but you know what the thing is though, Oliver, I wouldn't mind him in the sense that if you get him on a 1 year or 1 year or 1 year and a half contract, similar to what Arsenal have done, like with Jorginho, you bring him in. You know what? Backup. You bring him in as a backup. Obviously, he's only going to play 1 to 2 games because
that's the thing, Ahmed. I've just thought about that actually. If you have Gusto as the number one, exactly. And then you have Trippier as like the backup or whatever you want to, just behind Gusto, then. Exactly. Okay, fair enough. Maybe it just depends on the wages from there. Really.
And it makes sense because, like, I don't want us to spend on another fullback, spend like on a young talented fullback, just for us to say Reece James recovers from the surgery and he's fine again, and he's fit and healthy. Then we have to sell another talented young fullback, and it's just a waste of money.
This is why the alternative I'd offer maybe get a loan for someone.
Yeah, but a loan for who? I don't think a loan would work like that.
I mean, who knows?
Do you know what is? Yeah. Go ahead. I was going to say Max P, by the way, yeah. The thing is, Disasi has been a good deputy, but the thing is here, I don't want Disasi to be playing right back game in, game out. I don't want Disasi to be facing Doku at right back.
Jesus Christ, no, please.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want Disasi, sadly, playing right back against Luis Diaz on Wednesday night, boys.
No, I agree.
No one wants that. No, City. Big up Disasi. He's my driller still. You know what I mean?
People hated it when Chalobah had to face Diaz.
Chalobah versus Matoma was suicide, bro. That you had to put. That was suicide watch. That stuff that he was doing to him, yeah. Chalobah, bro.
We sent Chalobah to the gallows for that one, man.
Bro, he's never recovered. Chalobah has never recovered, by the way.
You know what I want to see? I'm surprised we haven't. And maybe actually we haven't because of like injury to a certain guy. But Caicedo at fullback.
I did lobby for this at one point.
Yeah. I said this before. I thought you were going to do Caicedo first.
When James and Gusto got injured, I did not want to see Disasi. I was like, put Caicedo there as the inverted fullback.
I think it's because Ogochukwu is also injured, so we don't have a.
What? So you think you play him in the 6? You think you play a good? Ogochukwu. Sorry, I thought you said Chukwemeka. Sorry, my head got confused.
Listen, Ahmed, not all Nigerians sound the same. Okay.
My apologies, boss.
We get it. You're not an AFCON, but you don't need to get around.
Listen, man, there is East Africa. East Africa is not an AFCON.
Well, I would say big up Disasi, by the way. Just gotta put some respect on the brick, right? Put some respect on the brick, man. Disasi.
That's my brick, bro.
Axel the brick Disasi, bro.
Wait, Marshall, do you remember the game when he ran into that guy?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, knocked him out.
He tried to overlap and he just crashed into something.
Disasi, bro. This guy, Disasi's a vibe, man. He's starting to become one of my favorite players in this team. I'm not gonna lie. Disasi, the brick has become is a vibe, man.
Marshall, how dare you slander a Chelsea player? How dare you?
You're not slandering him.
Listen,
Brick's a respect.
Marshall, I would never slander a Chelsea player.
Oh, get out of here, bro. Get out of here, man. You know what? I'll bring this back up. Get out of here. Get out of here, Prime.
Oh, look, a Malteser head.
Jesus Christ. I was gonna say something, but I don't remember anymore because y'all be fucking wiling and cracking me up. But what were we talking about? We were talking about Petrovic, and then we went off on.
Oh yeah, so we were saying you went to Ahmed and Prime about what would we do? Like, would we trust Petrovic or go into the market?
Yeah, actually, where do you stand on that, Oliver?
Okay, so for me, it depends on the market, really, because I'm not convinced by this current market, especially for some of the fees that you'd probably be having to pay for these players. The main two that stick out for me are obviously like that I'd want are Maignan or Costa. Maignan too injury prone, Costa not proven for that kind of fee. We'd be dealing with mistakes there. Let's just be real with that. We'd be dealing with him making mistakes and the scrutiny.
My apologies, bro.
So it just kind of depends on the market, really. I mean, unless someone great and reliable enters the market, and I don't consider either of those two to be both great or reliable. If one of those came onto the market, then by all means. But until then, if Petrovic doesn't give you a reason to be dropped or replaced, then sure, keep him.
You know what it is, guys?
Big up, real quick. Big up, Sarcasm City. We just got the raid. Y'all came just in time for the brick prop. So big up to everyone that just came in from the Sarcasm City raid. Big up to Flawless. Appreciate y'all. Smash up that like button and sit back and relax, man. We're talking Chelsea. We're talking brick. We're talking all types of things, man.
You know, it would be better if you had the Nokia, because then that would make even better sense.
Which one?
The Nokia. You know, the old Nokia phones.
That you want? The brick phone. I think I know what you're talking about. But...
Yes, in the UK we call them bricks too. Nokia bricks. And they used to be the old ones. The Nokia, the brick phones.
We're talking about the brick. Respect Axel, the brick, the sassy.
I was saying it would be
is that why the stream's so long? Because we didn't play badly, so I understand if we played badly.
No, we got into a Prime. We got into a thing about Kante.
He was.
That did happen too.
Okay,
yeah.
No, I was actually going to say because someone
on Petrovic, yeah.
You know the beautiful game.
How was that my fault?
No. You know the beautiful game brought up a point about Alisson, like a cheeky
this one.
It was a cheeky.
Oh no.
Alisson,
I saw it a second ago.
He said, do you want to do a cheeky bid for Alisson now that Klopp is leaving? I don't know what. Yeah, and I was.
That's the level we need.
I honestly think.
I hear this.
Listen, touch. If like the Klopp needs
touch brick.
Obviously, first season, if these guys start deciding to leave, there is an opportunity there that maybe.
I wouldn't mind Alisson.
The thing is, though,
it would be more decisive. We could have signed him. It's not Courtois' fault. It's that we didn't pull Courtois' punk card and go, it's okay, we got your replacement.
I mean, actually, Surfer, I'm glad you're here because you're one of the biggest advocates for signing a goalkeeper. And I did just propose a question of, now that we've seen Petrovic, one, me and Ahmed at least think I know I don't have much faith in Poch, but I have enough faith to believe that I think even he has to admit that right now Petrovic is undroppable. But the other thing that I asked was that, do you think now that we've seen Petrovic for a few games now, and ever since he's joined, ever since he's been consistently in the lineup, we've gone into some pretty decent form. Only lost 2 games since he's been in the lineup. Do you think that maybe we hold off on a goalkeeper in the summer now?
It's a very compelling argument, especially if he goes through the rest of the season not making any glaring. Even if he does make this mistake, it's not mistake after mistake after.
Which is why Alisson came up, by the way.
I tell you what's in favour for him. I'm not worried about the goalkeeper position since he's come in. I'm not he's passing out from the back, even though it's standard, which is fine. He's not giving the ball away in dangerous positions or stuff like that. He's claimed the corners, pulled us some good saves. I've always said to you, I don't really need my goalkeeper to be man of the match. I'm just comfortable. I'm comfortable. At the moment, I can see why there was obviously no need to buy a goalkeeper in January, which I wanted to do because Petrovic has come in and sort of steadied the ship. Now, if he continues to form, I think for me the conversation would then go in: do we sell Sanchez in the summer and get a number 2 goalkeeper, an actual number 2 goalkeeper, something like that?
We have Bettinelli, don't we?
Yeah, Bettinelli's there for
He doesn't exist, man. He doesn't exist. I'm
Yeah,
convinced.
he's here for the home quota thing.
Don't forget, we have Slonina as well. So,
But the thing is, Slonina is like 18, 19. I think he'll go out on loan again. But I think what we'll do with Serena is we'll send him out on loan, but the level of club will go up, the level of league will go up. Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough.
To establish him, get him used to playing in Europe or being in Europe first of all,
yeah.
and then go to another level and go to another level. But Petrovic, like today, Petrovic was barely tested for most of the game, and then he had that shot with Matty Cash, which was a fantastic save. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about goalkeepers. I want them to pull off a save like that when they haven't had to do anything for a big bulk of the game. That's why I said Alisson's the best, because Alisson for me was the sole reason that Liverpool finished 5th last season. It wasn't Mo Salah, it was Alisson, because that 2/3 of the season he kept them decent. And to this season, just one game alone against Crystal Palace, he saved them from going behind in the first half and saved them getting 3 points right at the end. That's what I want. That's when I said, like, Peter Cech's the greatest goalkeeper for me, because he wasn't had to be called on. Now, he was playing behind better teams and better defences, but when he was called upon, and Petrovic has even done it this season against Luton. That save against Luton where he tipped it onto the bar got us 3 points essentially.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So the need for it has lessened. Now we might be doing, and I don't know, but we might be heading into a Mendy situation where this guy's only good.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
You know what I mean? And then this time next year we're going, shit, we need a goalkeeper.
This is
do
why.
you know what I mean? So it's a balancing act at this time.
I'm of the same thinking. In terms of priorities, I think at least for a year, I think we're fine with the goalkeeper. I think we're fine with Petrovic.
Let me give you a situation, Prime. And I know he's got injury issues, but what if Magnon comes up for availability?
Listen. I've been rating Magnon for a number of years.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't want him. I don't listen. He's so injury prone. That is his big red flag as a player. And I don't want that. You know me. I'm sick of injury prone players that are talented. I don't want
the only goalkeeper that I would, even if Petrovic doing well, would be is just Alisson. If somehow we got an Alisson deal, he's the only goalkeeper I would go to.
How Petrovic has been performing this season, right? If he was at a different club, say, that was maybe not even just say in the Premier League, if he was at a different club, Chelsea fans would be saying, "Oh, look at this talent, Petrovic. We should try to sign him."
Don't say this too loud, but I think Petrovic is heading on the same path as a Vicario season at this moment in time. Mm-hmm. I think he might do that, and I've rated Vicario as I think Alisson's the best goalkeeper in the world. I think Vicario, for what he's done for Spurs, has been the best goalkeeper this season. If you understand what I'm saying, because he's bailed him out several times. But
you know what? It's hard to disagree with that.
I don't want my goalkeeper to be like that, and Petrovic at the moment hasn't been like that. There's been shocks, like I said, where he pulled out like Luton and tonight, something like that. But listen, he's now what, 10, is it 10, 11, 12 games now he's played in a row?
11, 12, yeah.
Right, and I can't, I honestly cannot remember him doing a mistake.
I don't think he has made a mistake. I don't think he has made a mistake.
I don't think he's made a mistake.
Whereas Sanchez, I'm telling you right now, he's been very fortunate this season to get away with things when he's been passing it out from the back. I mean, he has passed it directly to people, and we've gotten away with it. Okay? Now, that's not to say that Sanchez also pulled off a good save. I remember the one against Haaland in the 4-4 draw. That was a very good save.
Yeah.
But listen, I just think we might be fortunate that Sanchez got this injury.
Yeah.
Now he's seeing how good Petrovic is, because remember it was like Slovenia's the best goalkeeper in MLS. No, Petrovic is the best goalkeeper in MLS. Like, hang on a minute, we just bought the guy who told us the best goalkeeper.
I think they said Selena was the best prospect in the MLS.
Right.
Just to be clear.
Sanchez assisted to Rice. There we go.
Yeah.
It cost us 3 points.
Yeah.
Without
You can't forget that one.
I mean, listen, and Andrew, you said something like it could be a Mendy situation. The reason why I disagree, again, Petrovic, it's like it is a small sample size. The reason why I disagree it could be a Mendy situation is because when Mendy signed for us, he wasn't during that little spell with Lampard, he was looking like he had shaky moments. He didn't look great overall. It wasn't until Tuchel came and we were playing so defensive and stuff that you saw him start to blossom and look for a world-class goalkeeper for a year or so. So with Petrovic, he's doing all of this with what's going on, constant change in our back line. He's got no stability in the defense in terms of who's playing in front of him or our defensive structure, and he's still performing.
It's
I'll tell you what,
it's a weird thing to say, though. But it's a weird thing to say. What I'm going to say is, I need to see him make a mistake, but it doesn't cost us. If you understand what I'm saying, to see how he reacts to that. Because even the greats have had mistakes, and it hasn't affected. Peter Tech had plenty of mistakes.
Even if it does cost us, I want to see how he bounces back.
Well, that's the thing. How
he makes a mistake, and we lose badly, and the criticism is on him. How does he then bounce back from that?
I mean, I think he's on tremendous confidence because he hasn't kept. I don't think he kept a lot of clean. I might be wrong. I don't know what the clean sheet ratio is under him on his games. I can't believe it's a lot. But I don't believe, like I said, none of those goals where I went, "Oh, Petrovic need to be positioned better," or need to come out and claim that, or why didn't Petrovic save that? None of that's gone from mine.
We've had 5 clean sheets under Petrovic, by the way. 5 clean sheets under Petrovic.
So nearly 50%.
So half of his game, because he's played 10 games so far, 50% of the games he's played, he's had a clean sheet.
How many have we had under? What is Sanchez's ratio?
It's not
Sanchez. Sanchez started the season, right?
Yeah.
He started with Liverpool. Let me do a count here. 1, 2, 3.
Sanchez played every game, Liverpool to Everton.
Yeah, so it can't be a lot, I don't think. Yeah, and he played Newcastle, didn't he? Sanchez played Newcastle as well.
Yep. So the clean sheets I can remember from Sanchez were Luton, Bournemouth. Any others?
So he's played 18 games and only 5 clean sheets, from what I can count.
All right, so nearly a 33% point free thing. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah,
and yeah. So, like I said, it could have stumbled upon something accidentally. My hope is that Poch, because I don't think Sanchez is really an established number one. So it's not as if we're getting like Czech had been out and then Koulichini's come in, and as great as Koulichini was, everyone knows Czech's going back in goal, right? Even when Czech had that head injury, everyone knew he's going back in goal when he comes back, right? There's no number one, and this is Petrovic's chance to establish himself as the number one, and he's taking it at this moment in time. Unless it's injury suspension, I would be supremely pissed if Poch replaces him as soon as Sanchez gets fit, especially if he hasn't made any mistakes whatsoever. Even if he makes one mistake, right? And it's not a big mistake, he still shouldn't be dropped like that. There's no justification for putting Sanchez back into this team when I think Petrovic calms the defense down more than Sanchez does.
Goalkeeper is not like any other position. You can change your striker, you can switch up your midfield, even arguably you can change your defense, even though you probably shouldn't. But goalkeeper, unless the guy coming that's injured is, an all-time great or a world-class goalkeeper, listen, if the guy's in form, you play. It's not like Czech's not injured. Alisson's
I'm going to leave you again. Don't get into more petty arguments or Kante or something like that. Prime.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that Malteser head, man, I've got more slander. So can I cut?
I'll be standing.
Let's
All right,
let's
guys.
leave it.
It's
'cause
time to.
We are approaching the
Stream
3 hour
Sunday?
mark, so
You streaming Sunday or?
we're
Haven't
streaming
decided
Sunday.
Well, because
I haven't.
we don't usually play on a
Yes,
Friday,
yeah,
do
yeah.
we? So it's like,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Did I just get rated again? No, I didn't, right?
no, I didn't
did.
pop up.
What the hell?
you?
Every I've been wanting to rate today.
Who rated?
Jacob, appreciate the raid, United Spurs of America. Thank you very much. I just was working backstage too on a raid message for him, but we'll save that for when we raid him.
Guys,
okay? But
my
it's a
parting
surprise.
message
Big up.
is: if you know a Liverpool fan, whether they're friend or family, I want you to
Give him a hug.
I want you to put your hand on their shoulder, and I want you to laugh mercilessly in their face. That's all. That's all right now. Yeah, none of this.
Oh my god.
Cheer. Big up, guys. I will speak to you
Big
soon.
up, big up.
Oh, speaking of streams, Marshall, if it's okay, cheeky little
Yes.
plug. I guess today, today's Saturday.
Yeah.
AFCON on Sarcasm City Twitch. We will be doing an AFCON watch along for the round of 16 games that are starting. What?
No, I was just reading the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, around 16 games that are starting. We were actually supposed to do a preview today. Well, yesterday on Friday. But you know, some of the guys were busy and sick and whatnot, so they couldn't make it. But yeah, we will be doing a watch along for the games. We'll be doing Nigeria versus Cameroon at 8 p.m. UK time. So tune in, Sarcasm City Twitch. I'll be there. Victor, Steve, Jez. So yeah, finger
can't score against.
and we all. Ahmed, we don't care. You're Somalian. We don't care. Respectfully. But yeah,
God damn.
you guys tune into the stream and we will pray. We'll pray. We'll hold our hands together. We'll pray. And Nigeria go through against Cameroon. We'll pray.
I just wanna say quickly, guys. Just the United Spurs of America, you can hold that, my friend. You can hold that. No trophies
Making
again.
it to a final's not easy.
Yeah, man.
Making it to a final's not easy. But
Hey, listen, man. Timo Werner went to Spurs, and Man City broke the White Hart Lane curse.
Hey, man. You got that.
Hey.
Hey, I thought you would think Timo Werner is a winner.
I prefer really not to
He's never winning.
not to speak.
What's going on, man?
Wait,
Every time when it comes to that club, they're just dying.
So you're telling me Ange, who's won wherever he's gone, has been knocked out of 2 cup competitions.
Already, man.
You're telling me Bottle Joe Poch is in a final.
Moving suspiciously out here.
Yeah, man.
We're moving suspiciously out
You're
here.
telling me Champions League winner Timo Werner has knocked you guys out of another cup competition.
Hey, listen. They're still in contention to win the title. You never know. They might win something this season. You never know.
We're in contention to win the title.
I can't say that in a serious face. But
Whoa.
no, big up, rest in peace, Spurs, rest in peace, Liverpool. It was great, good season, but we'll see what happens, right? But I think with that note, I mean, I have no one to raid now because everyone raided us. We went for a lot longer than I anticipated, but there was plenty to talk about. This was a phenomenal stream. So if you guys have been tuned in since the beginning, smash that like button. Give me a fire emoji in the comments if you actually watch this all the way through and through. Very, very good stream. Big up to Prime. Big up to Surfer, Scott, everyone that tuned in, Ahmed, and Chris. Big up to all of you guys. Big up to United Spurs of America. Always a pleasure, Jacob. We're gonna have you on this channel at some point, and we're gonna have Banter FC. It's gonna be a good time. But also, big up
We
to
play soon, don't we?
Sarcasm City. We do play soon. So Jacob,
Oh, he's been suspended, I
check
think.
those DMs.
The game's been
Oh
suspended.
yeah, because of this
Because
tie,
we're in the
right?
final. We know what I'm saying?
Hey, yes, yeah, exactly. We're in a final. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But I mean, we'll see what happens in the final. But regardless, hey, we're in one. Okay, we're in the discussion. But I will also say, big up to Sarcasm City for the raid, as well as United Spurs of America. You guys are awesome. Guys, just go check out their content. Obviously, they do some good content. Jacob is very entertaining, and so is Flawless. So, yeah, there's a reason why they have great, flourishing channels. All right, go check them out and show them some casually love. But pause. But that being said, guys, we'll be back here Sunday for a it's not going to be a game. It's not going to be a game. So it's going to be a Casually Chelsea show, if I'm not mistaken, which we have a lot to talk about in that Casually Chelsea show. I've been letting it marinate. So we will be discussing many things in that Casually Chelsea show. So tuned in for that. Stay tuned in for that. Subscribe if you haven't done so.
It'll be the last one of the transfer window, I guess.
Yeah, this dead transfer window with the best signing.
Yeah,
the best signing of the transfer window has been the Spursy one. It's been a dead transfer window.
The amount of regurgitated reports and news that we've seen, it's just
yeah, it's been too much.
And people fell for the bait for people like what's his name, the Duran and all that,
Yeah.
Listen, I just want to say personally, Osama ibn Taliban, Ralph.
This guy.
I mean, he's in trouble. He's in trouble.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Osama ibn Taliban.
Oh, Tuchel's in trouble.
Yeah. We will speak on that on Sunday.
The last time
people have been speculating into Liverpool,
The last time Tuchel was in trouble,
no way.
He had Malteser head in midfield.
Respect. Anyways,
I never
guys,
respect the Champions League
smash up the like buttons. Does help out the channel. If you haven't done so already, if you came in the raid, smash up the like button. If you also came in the raid and you're not familiar with the channel, Casually FC, we talk about Chelsea and other football. Listen, we love football. We're great here, okay? We're accepting, and we like to debate. Andrew likes to debate. So yeah, go ahead, smash up the subscribe as well if you're new here. We're on our way to 2.5, so that would help us out tremendously. Hit the bell notification hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever we do go live. Check out the links in the description. Also, be sure to leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on everything we discussed today's game. Also, fire emojis if you watch this whole entire thing towards the end. You guys are the true OGs, the true ones. And memberships, 4 different tiers starting at 99p, and at the proper casual, you guys know who you are, and I'm going to say who you are. Proper casual and higher tiered members, you guys get a shout out at the end of every show. That's going to be going out to OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Scott, Adrian, Will, A. Solomon, and Hassan Nawaz. You guys are goated. Thank you so much for the support that you provide to the channel. And the more members that we get, the more emojis, the more content, the more everything that improves this channel we unlock. So be sure to show your support by checking out those memberships. That being said, ladies and gents, we're done here. It's been a casual stream. You have a wonderful night.
I do Rouse.